One Piece: The Legend of Creation, Chapter 341-360. 341 Devouring Mirror Image. If it weren't for his physical fitness, he might have died on the belly of these beautiful beauties. The girls outside heard 5 screams in succession. Obviously, there were 5 less this night. There were 5 more young women, especially Orbia and Rouge, who recovered and were broken again after being resurrected. But this time Lu Chengkong's wife, even the most jealous Nami, Nojiko and Juliana, did not have any dissatisfaction. Instead, they stayed on the side quietly, and even a few of them actively encouraged Lu Chengkong to take down the remaining 5 daughters. Don't leave any regrets. Obviously the pressure of the void demon's matter on the girls is not ordinary. Husband, since I am your wife, if you die in battle, then I will come to accompany you. You will not be alone after you die. You will always be my favorite. Khalifa and Hancock, who had learned to fly with Sophie, had the same unshakable thought and decision in their hearts. Do you really want to use this trick? I hope it won't develop to the worst level by then. Lu Chengkong stood on the bow and quietly looked at the sea ahead. Unconsciously, he developed a habit, that is, he likes to look at the sea. At this time, his heart was like the ocean in front of him. On the surface, the waves were calm, but in fact it was unfathomable, and outsiders had no way to guess what was hidden inside. Come out, with your strength, you can't overwhelm my perception. Lu Chengkong suddenly said, his eyes swept to the side of the fish drop. After a while, 2 people came out, one with green algae head and one with curly eyebrows. Needless to say, everyone can guess who these 2 people are, the 2 of the big 3, Zoro and Sanji. What are you doing here? Lu Chengkong asked softly. I want to ask you to let us greatly improve our strength in a short period of time. Sanji and Suojiang exchanged glances, and immediately said in unison. Lu Chengkong listened to the 2 people's calm but firm voices echoing in his ears. Vivi twitched at the corner of his mouth. He already understood. No wonder the original Luffy was able to survive all kinds of crises. In addition to his luck and the protagonist's immortality, the most important thing is that there are always 2 people behind him who silently support him. Obviously, these 2 people are Sanji and Zoro. The improvement of strength takes time and time. Although I have a way to forcibly improve it, the after effects are beyond what you can imagine. Do you still want to continue? In front of these 2 people who were like ants in his eyes. I think we will all die soon. It's better to fight than to stand and wait. Shangji, she said in a deep voice. His words made Lu Chengkong understand. These 2 smart guys obviously noticed something. Okay, reversal tilde mirror image clone. Lu Chengkong stretched out 2 fingers and pointed at Zoro and Sanji in front of them. A mirror image clone belonging to them both appeared in front of them. They are your mirror images. As long as you defeat them, then I can let them integrate into your body and double your strength in an instant. How many times can you defeat them in 3 months? And you have to remember, let them have all your unique skills and strengths, and not only that, their combat experience and awareness are not comparable to you, and there is only a dead end to failure. Quote. That's right, this is Lu Chengkong's idea of a way to improve his strength. As long as he defeats or kills the mirror image Lu Chengkong created for them, then Lu Chengkong can integrate their mirror image with them, although it only needs to be successful once. The strength will increase a lot, but the sequelae are extremely huge. This kind of forcible defeat and then swallowing and merging is obviously no less than Gorosei, 5 Elders Alchiba's ability to swallow the other 4, and the sequelae are equally huge. Just like a person's body is equal to a container, their strength is equal to water, and the container has been filled, but now they have added twice as much water to this easy, and the capacity of the container has not increased, which is a little surprising. Will burst. Garp Vice Admiral, are Shanks and the others also doing this kind of promotion? Although Robin was asking, there was no doubt in his tone. Not only them, but even me. Lu Chengkong said indifferently, yes, in the past 3 months. In addition to accompanying his wife every day, Lu Chengkong has been doing this kind of improvement. Even if his resilience, the physique is far from being comparable to others, but this kind of improvement is also a great harm to him, but it is a pity that he has no choice. Then let's start. Zoro heard the words. His eyes burst with determination and strong fighting intent, but he said that the most difficult thing to defeat is not the enemy, but himself. Facing his own mirror image is extremely difficult to defeat, but he does not a good retreat. The same is true of Sanji, who is standing by his side. No wonder Hawkeye keeps praising you, so let's get started. Liu Chengkong showed a hint of admiration on his face, and with a thought, mirror image Zoro and mirror image Sanji immediately rushed to their bodies, using demonic wind from the very beginning. The big trick of the foot and the silver mist hit their body. Angelina, when did you like to quietly hide and watch a play? Liu Chengkong said while watching their battle. I thought that my strength had improved so much, I would definitely be able to hide it from you, which is really disappointing. Angelina walked out of the darkness, only to see that her seductive cat ears had disappeared, replaced by human ears. This change made her a little less wild and a little more quiet, but her tail was still there, but it turned into a little white tiger tail. If it was 2 months ago, I would never have been able to find out, but I just defeated the mirror clone with the same strength as me, swallowed him, and my strength has improved a lot, so I can find you. Liu Chengkong chuckled lightly and said indifferently, but his words made Angelina's heart sink. I don't know why her heart was twitching a little. Of course she could clearly hear what Liu Chengkong said to Zoro and Sanji, so she knew that this move had serious consequences. How many times have you devoured it? Angelina said with a hint of annoyance. Her originally cheerful voice also became low, like an ancient vicious beast that erupted at any time. An invisible and terrifying coercion from her body it exudes, which is different from the previous momentum. It was obvious that she had no intention of killing Liu Chengkong, but her coercion still had an inexhaustible aura of killing. Obviously, she had replaced the fruit of nothingness with the fruit of a white tiger. Gas. 342 Conquer by force. Normally speaking, the limit for a person is to swallow 3 times. After all, it's not a problem, but who am I? I am Liu Chengkong, the Demon Emperor. Of course, not ordinary people can compare. My limit is 5 times, and now I have swallowed 4 times. We'll devour one last time tomorrow. Quote. Liu Chengkong stood up abruptly with a swipe, and said proudly, a majestic haki directly intertwined with Angelina's invisible killing aura, soaring straight into the sky, directly near the sky. Kuzan and Kizaru, who were playing soy sauce, caught the eyes of the 3 of Sengoku. Wow, Kuzan, the kid is really powerful now, even though the little aura he exudes makes my heart palpitate. Kizaru said, looking at the 2 standing on the bow with lingering fears. Kuzan didn't speak, because at this moment he didn't know what else to say. Garp had already told him about 3 months, so his mood was very complicated at this time. Stop, even if you succeed the 5th time, you will not live long. Have you forgotten about Alkiba? Angelina snorted coldly, a little hating the smell of iron becoming steel in it, but she couldn't hide it at the same time. The deep concern made Liu Chengkong stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect Angelina to care about people too. Cut, if you can't win, the devil will not die. He absolutely does not allow the existence of people with the color of the emperor, let alone the existence of the 20 kings or those with the same constitution as the 20 kings. No matter what, for the sake of neither my wife nor for you, I have no choice. This time, Liu Chengkong surprisingly didn't let Angelina, but instead retorted without a trace of modesty and sternness. You. Angelina was very annoyed, but at the same time she was a little happy and sweet, so she didn't know what to say for a while. The sequelae, as long as you don't die, you can solve the sequelae. If you die, you will have nothing. At this time, you still care about a fart. Liu Chengkong waved his hand, seeing that Angelina was speechless, and did not chase after him. I'm too lazy to care about you. Although Angelina was smart, it was really difficult for her to find a countermeasure from Liu Chengkong's words. Although the sequelae are very serious, and they may even die at any time, if they don't, they will die faster. This is also a last resort. I just don't know what to see. Liu Chengkong's casual look, and he doesn't care about the appearance of his body at all. Angelina couldn't help but squeak. This feeling was the first time in so many years that she couldn't help scolding herself in her heart. What happened recently? Just as Angelina turned around and left her beautiful back to Lu Chenghong to leave here to get sullen, she suddenly found her waist tightened, and just wanted to resist. She punched those who dared to take advantage of her. At that time, a familiar man's breath came to her nostrils, and she couldn't help but stop her conditional launch. The person who came here seemed to know that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and immediately touched Angelina with a very familiar big hand. Constantly exploring Angelina's hot, elastic, sexy and beautiful body. Let go, let me go. Angelina was Angelina after all, and at this moment she fully showed her strong wildness, which was completely different from the women Lu Chenghong had met in the past. While struggling, she hit Lu Chenghong with an elbow. But in the end, as if he was worried that he would hurt her, he couldn't help but take back the 3 points of Shiji's strength, so that he could easily control it so that he would not be hurt. Snapped. Hockey left by her mother, and Sophie's full and careful teaching of NG. Lena must face it carefully even after the mirror images merged. But now it's different. He defeated the mirror clone with the same ability and strength as himself and swallowed it 4 times. Lu Chenghong's strength has been terribly improved, and his left hand is embracing Angelina, which is slender but full of amazing elasticity. At the same time, the right hand still has free space to block Angelina's elbow, obviously with ease. Damn, I'll be rude if you don't let go. Angelina is different from other women. She has lived on an island with the law of the jungle, like a remnant blood bird since she was a child. The dignity of her will make her not slander anyone, even if she has a good impression of Lu Chenghong. In order to get her, in addition to capturing her heart, she must conquer her on the basis of strength, and also in bed, but her personality determines that once she is conquered, she will definitely treat Lu Chenghong. She is determined not to be inferior to Hancock and Khalifa, but it is really more difficult to conquer this arrogant girl than the sun and the moon. Okay, Angelina, I like you. If it wasn't for the incident with the Void Demon, I might have made my way with you slowly, but now I don't have time. I don't want to leave any regrets. Lu Chenghong not only was he not angry, but he was aroused by the arrogance in his heart that he must conquer the female cat in front of him. Frank enough, I admit that I have a strange feeling for you in my heart. It should be what Khalifa said, but if you want me Angelina to be your woman, then you will beat me, whether it is strength or in bed. Otherwise, even if you get my heart, I will not be with you, and even I will kill you. Angelina said here that the strange pupils were suddenly no longer watery or emotional, but instead exuded a cold murderous aura. Lu Chenghong knew that Angelina was not joking. Because she is definitely a stronger and unyielding woman than a man, and at the same time she is still a strong person. It would be better if Lu Chenghong didn't directly challenge him, but now he has directly challenged him, even though Angelina has a certain affection for Lu Chenghong. But she couldn't change her decision. Now there are only 2 paths for her to face. One is that Lu Chenghong can completely conquer her, both physically and mentally. The second is that she killed Lu Chenghong. She did not allow herself to have any flaws. After all, besides being a woman, she was an absolute powerhouse. When a powerhouse has a mental flaw, it is very dangerous. The hazy goodwill made her instinctively feel the danger, and now that Lu Chenghong mentioned it, she simply took this opportunity to make a decision. Come on, let me see how you've improved in the past 2 months. Lu Chenghong nodded. He had been a little smooth all the time. He suddenly encountered Angelina's tough pull, which had already aroused his competitiveness. Heart of 343 White Tiger Girl appears. You'll find out soon. Angelina curled her lips. She liked Lu Chenghong's cold and arrogant look even more. She didn't say more. She saw the truth in her hands. Lu Chenghong lost, then Angelina would definitely, no matter what the Void Great Demon, he will definitely kill Lu Chenghong as soon as possible. If Lu Chenghong won the opportunity to pursue her, then the rest would depend on whether Lu Chenghong's methods could turn the favor in her heart into love, and whether he could convince her of his ability to fight on the bed. Soon, How long ago, Lu Qingkong found that he hadn't used the demon Rokushiki to fight for a long time. It wasn't because he didn't want to use it, but because his opponent didn't force him to use the demon Rokushiki at all. Instead, he could explode. Demon profound truth with powerful lethality is often used. At this moment, Lu Qingkong had to use it, because Angelia in this state gave her a feeling of suffocation. He knew that if he didn't do his best, he would probably die. So fast, is this your demon Rokushiki? It's much stronger than Zongkong at that time. Angelina's eyes and pupils vivi shrank, and a picture emerged in her mind. It was her many years ago. When meeting Lu Qingkong for the first time, Lu Qingkong used Shun and Zongkong to attack her Shixing, but it was a pity that the speed displayed by Shun at that time could not be compared with Shun now. If Lu Qingkong's instant speed at that time was to wash the car, then now it's a rocket, and it's going too fast. But this alone is not enough. Although she was surprised by Lu Qingkong's progress, but now that the battle has already started, Angelina will not keep her hands. The right hand suddenly protruded into the space on the right, and the terrifying power brought out by the white tiger's heart seemed to shatter the space, and the air had already made a mournful cry of being penetrated. Magic body. Bang! The sound of a student's collision rippling from the air, like two trucks colliding with words. To be able to keep up with Shun's speed, Angelina can't get to such a level in just 2 friends. It seems that the memories her mother left her are really valuable. Lu Qingkong, while sighing at the speed of Angelina's progress, he fought back, his left hand stared at Angelina's right hand, and his right foot suddenly kicked out. The strong foot force directly tore the nearby air, and instantly kicked out a huge half-moon-shaped vacuum slash directly at Angelina. Just when Angelina's fascinated body was about to be cut into 2 halves by the vacuum slash, Angelina's bewitching pupils suddenly flashed a murderous aura that was visible to the naked eye. Her throat trembled, and she let out a low voice. But it contained domineering, and the tiger roar of the king's spirit suddenly came out. Garp and others who were already asleep nearby. They all got up and thought something happened, but soon their eyes were attracted by the sudden fierce and exciting battle. What's going on? Lu Qingkong looked at Angelina with great puzzlement, but he could see Chu-Hu clearly, and just before Zongkong was about to cut Angelina's body, a tiger roar sounded from her. The inside of the vacuum slash seemed to have suffered a great impact and disappeared into the air in an instant. It's stupid to be distracted and ask the enemy's ability when fighting, and if I answer you, it will be even more stupid. Angelina changed her low-key style. At this moment, she showed her sharp edge, hiding her long hidden edge. It was completely exposed. The excitement and fighting intent in the pupils had reached the highest peak in history, and the white tiger tail slammed directly on Lu Qingkong's chest with a will that penetrated everything like a snake coming out of a hole. Poochie! A huge wave spread from Lu Qingkong's chest all over his body. At this moment, Lu Qingkong only felt as if he had been hit by a planet. His throat was sweet, and he couldn't help spit out a mouthful of blood. Hee, how long has it been? It seems that I haven't vomited blood since I fought the Gorosei, 5 elders, but I didn't expect you to vomit blood today. Lu Qingkong wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, as if he didn't put the blood in his eyes, and his tone was very casual, but Angelina's expression was unprecedentedly solemn, because her terrifying intuition felt the inside of Lu Qingkong's body. A terrifying power is bred, and this power is beginning to move at this moment. Ha! Lu Qingkong let out a roar, and the demon emperor haki burst out without reservation, centered on his body, as if he didn't want money, forming a terrifying storm that blasted directly at Angelina. He wanted to see what happened to Angelina. Deal with her own demonic haki and see if she has really awakened the emperor. 2 months ago, I might have nothing to do with your strange and devouring haki, but now. While Angelina was talking eloquently, her delicate body vivi trembled, and Emperor Haki brought a will of self-respect for the world and directly collided with Lu Qingkong's demon Emperor Haki, 2 absolutely powerful forces. Just like 2 tigers, one mountain cannot tolerate 2 tigers. They all gathered their strength and wanted to defeat the other. The devil has changed. Lu Qingkong understood that Angelina's strength was very similar to her current strength, and she also awakened the emperor's color. Not only that, she also got all her mother's sentimental memory about the Emperor's color, plus with Sophie's full-strength guidance. Of course, his progress is much faster than his own exploration of the Devil's color, so he knew that to win Angelina, he could only use stronger strength. Are you here? Angelina's pupils shrank. She could clearly feel the momentum on Lu Chengkong's body rising, at least twice compared to before. Brush. Boom. Angelina only felt that Lu Chengkong had come to her, and a straight uppercut punched her in the stomach. The speed was so fast that she couldn't react at all. When she reacted, she only felt my stomach hurts, and then my whole body flew out like a cannonball. Hee, Angelina, you've been with me for so long, you should know how many layers I have transformed. You can't win against me just with your current state. Lu Chengkong looked at Angelina wickedly. Embarrassed, he said with a chuckle. Really, but you will transform, and so will I, a white tiger. Anger flashed in Angelina's eyes, and as soon as her voice fell, a black king's word appeared on her forehead, all over her body. After an amazing change, she became a white tiger girl in an instant, but it was strange that Angelina did not have a pair of tiger wings on her back. 344 White Tiger Transformation versus Demon Transformation. Hiss, is this the white tiger fruit? It is indeed Zone's strongest devil fruit. Belmir and Luji's cat fruits have a much worse boost after transforming into tiger and leopard fruits than the white tiger fruit transforming into. And, as the strongest Zone fruit, there must be some strange ability. Lu Chengkong murmured a little in his heart, and looked at Angelina's appearance at this time, just like a white tiger girl, but after the transformation, it did not affect her beauty in any way, but raised her wild beauty to the limit. Slim, watery and attractive to the extreme figure, people can't wait to take possession of it immediately. Ah, this is the first time I have used this ability in combat. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. I hope it can be as powerful as the memory you left for me, Mother. Angelina did not rush to attack, but loosened her body and closed her eyes. Through the return of her life, she became familiar with the changes in her body after the white tiger transformation at an amazing speed. After a second, Angelina opened her eyes again. The eyes are more confident and king than before. Obviously, the ordinary tiger is the king of the forest, and the white tiger is the absolute king standing above all tigers, and it is also the strongest among all Zone devil fruits. Tyrannosaurus, Gluttonous, Phoenix, and Boot are far from being able to. Compared with the white tiger, now he can finally see the fruit ability that can be compared with his own mirror fruit. Lu Chengkong is also very excited when he thinks of this. The murderous aura is awe-inspiring. Angelina let out a low voice, and a strong and terrifying murderous aura turned into a gust of courage and slammed directly towards Lu Chengkong. Chi. What's the matter? Lu Chengkong used one of the demon Rokushiki, Piao Shui, just before this fishy risk was about to touch him, and escaped the terrible fishy wind, but was still affected. There were countless scars on his right hand that seemed to have been cut by a knife. Lu Chengkong's physical strength is terrifying. Basically, everyone who knows him knows it, but only he knows it best. His defense is terrifying, but now he has been left with countless scars by a murderous aura. This is still the case that he avoided the key point and was only affected. If he was in the center, he might have been injured to a certain extent. Manipulating murderous aura, Lu Chengkong's pupils shrank for a moment, and he lowered his head to examine the scar on his right hand. You guessed it so quickly. Angelina sneered, and a stench that was much stronger than at the beginning continued to blast towards Lu Chengkong. For a while, Lu Chengkong could only dodge and have no way to fight back. Not even close to Angelina. It's really troublesome. Baihu really is the strongest killing energy that controls the world. Angelina can actually turn the killing energy into countless sharp knives, and it is terrifying. Passive beating is not his style. Evil Emperor Haki is open. Lu Chengkong didn't hold back this time, and directly raised Demon Emperor Haki to the extreme that can be achieved so far. Sure enough, these murderous auras were directly defeated, but Lu Chengkong has not yet before he had time to grin. A stench of emperor-colored hockey had already rushed towards his face and directly blocked his own demonic-colored hockey. It's really troublesome to be able to use the emperor's color with murderous aura. Rokushiki, 6 Styles Devil Order. Lu Chengkong slapped 2 palms one after another, and 2 shock waves that were as pitch black as ink and contained overwhelming power directly broke through the air and penetrated through the air. Angelina's murderous awe. Rujin. Angelina didn't panic, but dealt with it very calmly. With the use of Angelina's ability to use the white tiger fruit just now, the power became more and more powerful, and she became more and more skilled. I saw Angelina's right hand. Suddenly surrounded by a golden energy, this energy exudes a kind of chi that runs through everything and tears everything. Sure enough, as Angelina bent her fingers into claws and swiped at the demon order in front of her, the demon order in front of her was directly scattered. Soon, Ente Yang Yan. Lu Chengkong never thought that the demon order could cause any trouble to Angelina. He was just trying to hold Angelina back. At almost the same time, Lu Chengkong had already appeared in Angelina's room. Behind him, he held an infinitely compressed white fireball and pushed it directly to Angelina's back. Once such a high-temperature white fireball melted into Angelina's body, there was only a dead end. Zhang Jin, kill, pierce the sky and the earth. Angelina's face remained unchanged, her hands Vivi stretched out to both sides of her left hand, and with her body as the center, black golden energy burst out in all directions, bursting like a tornado. Out. Boom. As Lu Chengkong's Yang Yan and Angelina's whole piercing the sky and the earth collided with each other, there was a loud noise. The air seemed to be boiling, and the dazzling fire and black and golden light kept appearing, which was extremely dazzling. These 2 tricks were deadlocked together, and neither one would admit defeat. It seemed that they would not give up until they defeated the other. Unfortunately, it was a pity that both sides seemed to be half-hearted, and they persisted for about a moment. The giant force returned, and the 2 were directly overturned backwards. The second stage of the demon transformation. Lu Chengkong directly entered the second stage of the devil transformation in midair, and the 4 demon wings suddenly flapped, causing Lu Chengkong, who had been flying upside down, to stagnate each other, while Angie on the other side the same thing happened to Lena. White tiger transformation tiger wings now. Angelina also had a pair of huge tiger wings behind her back, making her look even more majestic and inviolable. Suddenly, there was a storm rippling around Angelina. Feng Yunhu, Yun Konglong. Obviously Angelina has shown the true transformation of the white tiger fruit at this moment, and at the same time her strength has soared again. It is really scary. The white tiger fruit, the strength of the transformation brought about is too great, and it is not comparable to other animal fruits at all. It is simply the same gap between heaven and earth. It's so fast. For the first time, Lu Chengkong found that his speed was not as good as the opponent's, because he immediately rushed towards Angelina after transforming and hit the magic finger directly, but unfortunately he didn't hit Angelina at all and stayed in the original It's Nothing But Angelina expressway. The phantom that remained after the move was the only one, and the real Angelina had already left Ding. You are not the only one who is good at speed. The wind is from the tiger and the cloud is from the dragon. I am not afraid to tell you the truth. The power of the natural wind and the martial arts are all origins. I have the speed, the destructive power, the defense power, the penetration power, and the strong physique. Are you sure you can defeat me now? 345 Angelina. Lu Chengkong didn't speak, and looked at Angelina, who was aggressive and pressing step by step, quietly with indifferent eyes, but still sneered in his heart. Angelina tried to suppress herself with such a rush. It was a fool's dream, but he didn't. I have to admit that Angelina is too powerful now. The physical strength is no less than his own, the speed is no less than his own, and the realm of life return is no less than his own, and the opponent's movement is obviously more elegant and elusive than himself under the control of the power of the wind, and even more terrifying is Angelina. The white tiger fruit actually allowed her to master 3 source powers. You must know that each of the top 10 Logia, 5 Paramesha and Zone Devil fruit is equal to a source fruit, which is equivalent to mastering a source of power, but now Angelina's performance has told Lu Chengkong that she has mastered it. The 3 source powers are equivalent to the ability to add 3 top-level devil fruits out of thin air. I have to say that Angelina is too perfect now, so perfect that it makes people feel like they can't start. I admit that your physique is very strong, but now I'm definitely not worse than you. No matter what abilities Animal Fruit has, the most powerful thing in him is the increase in physique and the improvement of physical quality. He can't beat me now. Then you die. When Angelina said this, her figure immediately shot out, and in the blink of an eye, she came out in front of Lu Chengkong. She kept hitting Lu Chengkong with her fists and feet. But it did not show weakness, as if ignoring the terrifying power of Zhengjin, the inner strength and Angelina were directly banging. Watching the 2 fists intersect in midair, the afterimages are constantly intertwined, and a heavy crashing sound is constantly heard from the sky. The ripples visible to the naked eye continued to ripple out. How can this little girl's strength improve so much, and she can actually fight against the Sky Boy in this state? Whitebeard's 2 copper bell-sized eyes looked at the 2 people who were flashing fast in the sky, and almost didn't squint them out. It's been a long time, and Angelina, whose strength is comparable to himself and at most 1 line stronger than himself, actually it's just too fake that the strength has increased to such a level in the past 2 months. It's just that no matter how unacceptable this matter is, the fact is right in front of him and Whitebeard can't bear to believe it. Whitebeard is already good, but Sengoku, Garp, Redhead and others around him have been hit hard. Knowing that they were all famous geniuses when they were young. After all, each of them is a conqueror, how could the king's aptitude be given up? It just doesn't seem to be on the same level as the 2 in the fierce battle in the sky in front of him. It's really troublesome. Shun Yulong. Lu Chengkong and Angelina fought for a while, only to feel a tingling pain in both fists and legs. Obviously Angelina was in contact with her body, hide the chi of Zhengjin in it, otherwise Angelina will not be much better than herself. Between the lights and flints, Lu Chengkong is like a dragon in the sea, free and carefree, free from all restraints, and the flexibility of his movements has suddenly improved a lot, forcibly avoiding Angelina's multiple attacks. The white tiger digs the heart. Angelina snorted coldly and waved her left hand. Lu Chengkong only felt that his body sank, as if he was stuck in a quagmire. The more he struggled, the slower he became. Grab your heart. Trouble, she manipulated the power of nature's wind, and she didn't bring out a bit of strong wind when she attacked, and she couldn't use the demon Rokushiki Piaoshui to dodge at all. Lu Chengkong found that he hadn't been in such a hard battle for a long time. Even when he faced the 5 Gorosei, 5 elders, the Hades who had been sacrificed, and Alkiba who devoured the other 4, he was not so passive. Angelina knows herself too well. On the contrary, he doesn't know Angelina's ability at all. Even if she summons Angelina's mirror image clone now, using ability fusion, the ability to get the white tiger fruit is useless. After all, what I got in an instant is far from Angelina, and don't forget, Angelina is not Kuzan, Ace. Using her fruit ability by herself is simply courting death for her. I wonder if she has all her mother's perception and memory of using the emperor color and the white tiger fruit. Who can understand the white tiger fruit better than Angelina, and what ability do I want to use to absolutely give her up? It was easily cracked by her, and even attacked. The mirror turns the sky and the earth. In desperation, he could only use one of the 2 great stunts in his mirror image, profound meaning. The blocked Lu Chengkong disappeared in an instant, replaced by a simple, all-encompassing mirror, as if this mirror could integrate the entire world. As a light flashed across the surface of the mirror, another Angelina suddenly appeared in front of the mirror, and also used the white tiger to punch Angelina. Boom! The terrifying inner body strength cooperates with the invincible and indestructible chi of Zhengjin, which penetrates everything and collides with each other. Click! Whitebeard, who was already stunned, to fall into a sluggishness. Kaxi, Sengoku Kazaru, etc. People are even dumber. This little girl is too perverted. Her inner strength penetrates the space, and my shock fruit is a shit. For the first time, Whitebeard felt that the gap between the fruits was so big. I almost forgot that you still have this move. Angelina snorted and waved her jade hand, which was a little painful. Obviously, the same power, the same move, and the same spirit of Jengjin met her. Very uncomfortable. Hey, you should know that with this trick, I can be invincible, but I don't want to use this trick to defeat you. Lu Chengkong showed his figure, and the mirror closed immediately. Up. I admit, if you raise this move to the same power as you used to face Whitebeard, I am really in trouble. If you don't pay attention, you will definitely die, but you really think I have no way to deal with it? Angelina. A flash of emotion flashed in his eyes, which made Lu Chengkong's heart even more heavy. Angelina was too rational, and she was as calm as herself during the battle. Being extremely rational, this kind of enemy is really too difficult to deal with. Just as the enemies facing Lu Chengkong feel that Lu Chengkong is extremely difficult to deal with, the same psychology also appeared in Angelina's heart. 346. The strongest burst of power. You know, the white tiger fruit is the same as your mirror image. Aunt Sophie's destiny fruit is also the most powerful fruit. Of course, it has the same unique skills as you. Angelina fluttered her tiger wings, which had a huge back but did not affect the beauty, but looked very beautiful. She was arrogant but calm, but Haki did not appear to be arrogant. At the same time, her body began to emit a silvery white light, but the more she felt like this to Lu Chengkong, the more dangerous it was. Yeah, I have the mirror fusion. The mirror turns the world. Angelina's white tiger fruit must have his unique strength. Is it really necessary to rely on the mirror fusion and the mirror to turn the world to defeat her? I planned to keep the ones to deal with the Void Great Demon, but I didn't expect to take them out in advance, and the ones to deal with were actually their own crew members. Lu Chengkong's eyes flashed a complex light at first, and then he regained his firmness and composure, only to see Lu Chengkong's throat floating up and down, and a roar like an auspicious beast wafted out from his throat, and the air was filled with air. In the beginning, there was a chilling air. At the same time, Lu Chengkong's body actually began to emit light just like Angelina's, but the color was different from Angelina's. Angelina's was silver white light, while Lu Chengkong's was silver black. Black and white seemed to be born. It was like a deadly enemy, but it was confirmed by the two of them. What is this? Why haven't I seen you use it before? Angelina's face changed slightly, her eyelids jumped, her left and right were fierce, her right eyelid was obviously beating, her body was instantly tense, and an extremely dangerous aura shrouded in it. In her body and mind, it seemed a little difficult for her to breathe. She had simulated the entire battle before fighting Lu Chengkong. If Lu Chengkong used the demon Rokushiki, he would have the power of nature's wind, and the wind could be resisted by the tiger. In melee combat, if you cooperate with the spirit of Jengjin, you are completely reluctant to be left behind or even have the upper hand. Compared with Haki and the remote station, you can use the killing energy and the Emperor color to completely resist Lu Chengkong's aggressive and devouring demon Emperor color Haki. If you instantly improve the battle, if you have a white tiger transformation, you can also resist Lu Chengkong's demon transformation, and even she has prepared the worst plan. That is, Lu Chengkong will use mirror fusion on the basis of the second stage of the devil transformation, but even if it is like that, there are also ways to deal with it. Don't forget that the white tiger fruit can be tied for the first place in the mirror image is no joke. It's just that the abilities brought by any kind of white tiger fruit that Angelina just showed are amazing existences, but the most core tricks and abilities Angelina has never used, in order to resist Lu Chengkong's mirror image fusion and mirror turning work together. But now Lu Chengkong's appearance is obviously not what he should look like when using mirror fusion, instead he exudes a strange aura. No wonder Aunt Sophie said that this man is full of secrets that people can't see through and can't fully explore. Once you have a good impression of her, if you can't kill him, then he will most likely be captured and conquered by him. It seems that he has hidden abilities in addition to demon transformation and Haki. Angelina's mind flashed countless thoughts in an instant, but on the surface she was very calm. Without a trace of emotional passivity, the momentum on his body is still rising. The momentum of the two was obviously in an invisible confrontation, and the aftermath emanated for Whitebeard had to come out to resist, otherwise, Kuzan Sengoku, Kaxi, and Rayleigh behind him would not die or be seriously injured. If it was me 2 months ago facing the current you, I would definitely lose, even if you use mirror fusion and mirror turning world. I think you have a unique trick to face me, but unfortunately, I returned it through life in these 2 months. The demon gene brought by the demon bloodline has been modified and perfected. I have reached the peak that suits my body best, and at the same time I have discovered a new ability, which should be said to be the most powerful ability of the demon bloodline. Originally, I planned to keep it to deal with the void demon, but I didn't expect it to be ahead of schedule. Let it appear. Lu Chengkong said slowly. Angelina did not make a move either, and the battle of momentum was still going on in secret. Obviously, they both wanted to overwhelm each other in terms of momentum. If they could overwhelm each other, then the chances of winning the remaining battles would increase a lot, but Angelina is obviously also curious about Lu Chengkong's new abilities. I have seen the power of the white tiger fruit, and it is indeed an existence comparable to my mirror fruit. I think that even if you use mirror fusion and mirror rotation with my current strength, you still have the ability to hide. 20 kings are here. Before they can eat the fruit, they can't tell the difference between the winner and the loser. So I don't want to use the power of the devil fruit today. Today I will use the strongest power I brought to this world to decide the outcome with you. Wake up the power of the devil, burn it, show your edge, and let the world be tremble. Lu Chengkong's voice grew louder and louder, the momentum on his body soared faster and faster, and the silver-black light covering his body seemed to have turned into a golden flame when a Super Saiyan transformed into a circle around Lu Chengkong. The body burns. The ultimate meaning of the white tiger, the power of the white tiger, fusion. Angelina's face finally had no way to remain calm, and at the same time she couldn't wait for what happened to Lu Chengkong using the mirror fusion house. The current Lu Chengkong is too scary, give it to her. The feeling is simply more terrible than after using mirror fusion. As soon as Angelina's voice fell, the silver-white light covering her body turned out to be the power of the white tiger, and the power of the white tiger also turned into a flame like the power of the devil on Lu Chengkong's body. It's not enough, this can only be a tie at best, the light of the devil, the change of the devil. Lu Chengkong roared, the blue veins burst out on his forehead, and the muscles in his body first swelled, and then instantly contracted to their original shape, but Angelina, however, is clear that Lu Chengkong's physical strength has become stronger again, and her face becomes very ugly when she thinks of this. The roar sounded like a tiger and an elephant, with an endless roar of anger over dozens of miles, hundreds of miles, and even woke up Sophie, who was still teaching Khalifa and Hancock in the center of Laugh Tale, and the three women quickly exchanged. With a glance, the movement technique was suddenly displayed, and the figure burst out, and within a few seconds, it came to the periphery of Laugh Tale. What's the matter? Khalifa asked Whitebeard, who was on the side, without saying a word. I don't know, the boy in the sky and this little girl suddenly started fighting, and the fight became more and more exciting. At the end, the boy in the sky seemed to use some strange ability. Look, his appearance has changed. Whitebeard said here immediately surprised. He pointed at Lu Chengkong and shouted. 347, 347 Angelina lost. How is it possible? Even if he uses mirror fusion, it is impossible to improve to such a level. What is this all about? Even though Angelina was calm at this time, she was a little rude. The battle that she thought would be a draw actually began to change. You must know that her is the white tiger fruit, and Zone in Logia, Zone, Paramesha is purely for strength improvement. The biggest and most direct. Therefore, even the fruit of destiny and the fruit of mirror image cannot be compared with the fruit of the white tiger in terms of improving the strength of the body. It is precisely because of this that Lu Chengkong can only tie Angelina even if he uses the first and second transformations of the demon transformation in the face of Angelina. Of course, Lu Chengkong did not use the mirror fruit. The ability, such as summoning several mirror clones to surround and beat Angelina, the balance of victory will be tilted immediately. After all, if the devil bloodline and the mirror fruit do not defeat Angelina, then Lu Chengkong doesn't have to come out and mix. Even if Angelina's white tiger fruit increases her strength greatly, it is impossible to defeat Lu Chenggong with the white tiger fruit alone. It has the same level of ability as the white tiger fruit, devil blood and mirror fruit. But Lu Chenggong didn't want to use it, because he felt it was unfair, and it didn't have much effect. Even if he defeated Angelina in the end, he felt that it was not thorough enough, and Angelina would definitely be angry. So Lu Chenggong decided to use the mirror image fruit's ability, hockey, and physical skills to fight, or use the demon transformation, hockey, physical skills to fight, demon transformation and mirror image. Only one of the two fruits can be selected, and simply using one to defeat Angelina can convince Angelina. In the end, Lu Chenggong chose to use the abilities brought by the devil's blood. After all, the abilities brought by the devil's blood were very similar to those of Angelina's white tiger fruit, both of which would improve his own strength. Only if he defeated Angelina in this way would he is the best choice. So he used the mirror to turn the world so that he would not launch it when he was in danger, so he secretly sealed the ability of the mirror fruit and unlocked it when the battle was over. Really, even if you use the ability of the mirror fruit, winning means winning, losing means losing. How can I find so many reasons? No matter what ability it is part of your strength after all, you don't need to seal the ability of the mirror fruit. Although Angelina's color changed, she also noticed the change in Lu Chenggong's body. Although she thought so, but facing Lu Chenggong's actions, a strange feeling rose in her heart. Obviously not only she understood Lu Chenggong also knew Angelina. After all, understanding is mutual. Don't forget that Angelina was ignorant from the beginning, and the current multi-wisdom and near demon are taught by Lu Chenggong. All Angelina's questions and doubts are answered by Lu Chenggong for her. How could Lu Chenggong not understand Angelina? Said it was too late, although I said so much, but only 1 second passed, but Lu Chenggong experienced an earth-shaking change in such a period of time. The demon scale armor and demon wings have all disappeared, returning to the original normal human state. It's just that the black hair turned into long silver black hair. The hair growth stopped at the waist. At the same time, a symbol appeared on Lu Chenggong's forehead. The book should be a spell, and the mark is more suitable. Look at this mark. The ancient, violent and destructive aura that exudes is obviously the mark of the devil. Angelina seems to see that this battle is coming to an end soon, but I can't support it for long. The power brought by the devil's light is too terrifying, crazy, violent, domineering, and full of destruction and devouring. Can't control it for long. Lu Chenggong opened his mouth and spoke slowly and quickly, but as his mouth opened, Zibert and the others below all widened their eyes, gasping for breath, as if they had seen something unacceptable. The thing to believe, let alone them, even the two women Khalifa and Hancock who have been with Lu Chenggong for many years and have never been separated from beginning to end. VV's face was a little moved, but he recovered quickly. What they saw was actually nothing. That is, after Lu Chenggong opened his mouth. Two slender, sharp demon teeth were revealed, very similar to the zombie teeth of the Pengu zombies in the drama I Have a Date with a Zombie. Really? Then let me see how strong you are now. Angelina took a breath and calmed her mind, forcibly forgetting the palpitations in her heart. She said in a cold voice, but she didn't say anything and only felt a pain in her stomach. A huge force blasted her out, and with a bang, she bought into the ground of Laugh-Tail. Hiss. So fast. Everyone's expressions changed drastically. Even Sophie, the most powerful present, was not much better. It can be said that her strength is stronger than Angelina, but just now she could only reluctantly look at the trajectory of Lu Chenggong's movement, which could only be captured as a bystander. If she was Lu Chenggong's enemy, even if she caught her body, she would not be able to respond. Angelina is sure to lose. The white tiger fruit's increase in strength, as well as the powerful killing aura, the power of Zhengjin, speed, and movement are all perfect, but now it seems that the secret of this kid is really good. Great, his strange power-boosting abilities increased even more than Angelina's white tiger fruit. It seems that it is possible to destroy the void demon this time. If I were to face him, I might have to rely on the fruit of fate to see through his fate in advance, so that he could fight against him in the future, otherwise it would be very dangerous. Cheng Kong. It should be said that she is not afraid of fighting anyone, not even the Void Demon, because she has eaten countless devil fruits over the years. They have all eaten, and they have developed these abilities to the extreme. It can be said that she has a clear understanding of almost all abilities, so even if Lu Chengkong is in front of her, she is very calm. In her opinion, no one can escape the control of her destiny, but Lu Chengkong in this state has made her a success. She came to a conclusion that the current Lu Chengkong gave her the feeling that she was detached from all restraints and control. Maybe Lu Chengkong in this state could already fight with him. 348 Conquering Angelina. Cough cough. Angelina stood up, vomited blood, rubbed her still aching belly, and glanced at Lu Chengkong resentfully, as if she was coquettish between lovers. The stunning punch broke Angelina's arrogance and rebelliousness. At the same time, it also surrounded her with peace of mind, and the line of defense that prevented all intruders from approaching her heart also collapsed. Because the punch just now made her realize, the force was too great, the speed was too fast, and it was almost unbelievable, she couldn't even see how Lu Chengkong was moving. No matter what, she was convinced. In terms of force, Lu Chengkong has already defeated her in terms of strength, and it can even be said that he has conquered her. In order to convince himself, Lu Chengkong's ability to seal the mirror fruit has made his peaceful heart a little bit beat, touch. At the same time, the image of living with Lu Chengkong when she first came out of Remnant Blood Island couldn't help but emerge in her mind. At that time, she didn't know anything. She was very naive, and often asked some embarrassing things to Lu Chengkong. If she couldn't answer, she couldn't help showing a pure and beautiful smile now that she remembered it. Angelina, I didn't expect that your unruly sex and your mother would be conquered by this man. Not only did you conquer you by force, but even your heart began to turn towards him. I really don't know when I was there. Is it right or wrong that Remnant Blood Island let you study with her by her side? Quote. Sophie has been alive for so long, she is simply a human being. How could the look in Angelina's eyes and the change in the expression on her face escape her gaze? She couldn't help thinking complicatedly in her heart, but whether it was because Angelina was acting as she is the last relative of a person today, or is it because she and her mother were close friends before her death, sisters and close friends in her boudoir, she respects Angelina's choice, and at the same time secretly cursed. You big pervert, since Angelina doesn't mind that you have other women, then I won't care. But if you let Angelina not be high, or be wronged, even if it's a little bit, I will make you worse off. Die, even if I don't care about the Void Demon, I will not let you go. At the same time, Lu Chengkong, who was majestic in midair, like an undefeated god of war, suddenly felt cold all over for some reason. Since then, it can be seen how powerful Sophie is. Just making a decision in her heart can make Lu Chengkong have this kind of power. A feeling. When women are fierce sometimes, they can't even compare to men, let alone the arrogant women like Sophie and Angelina, who stand above all living beings. After all, as long as you are strong, if you have power, it makes no difference whether you are a man or a woman. Men can be ruthless and decisive, and women can do the same. Even Sophie, Angelina, Khalifa, Hancock. Many beauties are more ruthless than countless strong men, especially for those who love in their hearts, just like Sophie for Angelina, Khalifa Hancock for Lu Chengkong. Anyone who dares to touch the taboos in their hearts, then that person will definitely be worse than death. This kid, it's been the last month, and he still has all these sweethearts. At this time, Rayleigh finally understood what was going on. I still feel speechless thinking about these things. Khalifa, look, I said that Angelina, the arrogant girl, can never escape the palms of officials, but the way has changed. Boa Hancock glanced at Khalifa beside him, and said with an expression I knew would be so. Really? Well, I don't know who said that Angelina was so wild before, so it's hard for a proud husband to conquer her. Now there's not much time, why have he changed his tongue now? Khalifa glared at Boa Hancock and retorted. Boa Hancock moved the corner of his mouth and was choked. It was very uncomfortable, but Khalifa took over what he had said at will, and she really didn't expect Khalifa to remember her before. Casual jokes. What's the matter? There's nothing to say. Khalifa snorted softly, looking smugly like a little peacock. I'm too lazy to argue with you. I'll go to the officials first, cherish the time, and go back to practice later. Hancock ignored Khalifa directly, moved the lotus step lightly, and floated towards Lu Chengkong. Ningzi came right away. I and Hancock have been cultivating for the past 2 months, and it's been a while since we really had sex. Thinking of this, Khalifa's speed is not slow, and he moved directly to Lu Chengkong's side at the speed of light, as if he was afraid that Hancock would take it away if he slowed down. Similar. That night, after Angelina cried out in pain, Lu Chengkong not only overthrew the incomparably hot Angelina, but also showed great power on the bed, completely convincing this proud arrogant girl. Lu Chengkong also had a vigorous tequila battle with Khalifa and Hancock, who had not been intimate for 2 months. After feeding the 2 girls, of course, the other women Lu Chengkong who joined in after hearing the sound of the battle did not like this, and each of them made them cry and cry, calling them father and mother. Why young, Angelina, are you satisfied? Lu Chengkong lay down on the bed, glancing at the quiet lying beside him, the only exception being the satisfied girls, bowing their heads to him. Angelina, who refused to get up in her arms, said, "Well, it's so comfortable, no wonder they don't care about you. So many women, and they even take the initiative to help you find a woman. You are really amazing. Ah, don't move, tonight is the first time I can play with you. 6 hours is not bad, huh, I'll be draining you when I recover." Angelina was topped by the giant dragon that was still placed in her peach blossom garden, only to feel that the heart of the flower was about to be shattered. She said softly, and rolled her eyes at Lu Chengkong. "Ha ha, I'm waiting for you. This is the Angelina I know, she won't admit defeat." Lu Chengkong did not retreat at all. Facing a woman like Angelina, he could only press step by step. Facing her, all challenges must be accepted, otherwise she will only look down on you. Of course, the current Angelina will not have such an idea, because now she is not only convinced by her strength, her body and mind have been conquered by Lu Chengkong without exception. If she can spend some time on her honeymoon, if you cultivate a relationship, the heating rate of the relationship will definitely soar. It's a pity that they don't have time. There is still a month, and Sophie has just said that she can only suppress the void demon for a month at most, and he will definitely break out after a month. 349 Sophie's gift. A month is not too short, not too long, and it quickly passed quietly, but for everyone in Laugh Tale, this month is no less than living like a year, but for Lu Chengkong, it is very short-lived, yet very fulfilling. In this month, the relationship between him and Angelina has really grown by leaps and bounds, and after Angelina first tasted the taste of the forbidden fruit, she would slip back every day after practicing with Sophie and pull Lu Chengkong for in-depth physical combat. Angelina's physical strength is really strong enough. Especially after eating the white tiger fruit. In order to defeat Lu Chengkong in the battle, she even used the return of her life. It must be known that her practice of return of life is no less than that of Lu Chengkong, Khalifa, and Hancock. However, Angelina has a good plan, and there is a long ladder in the smooth air. He is not inferior to Angelina in physical strength, and his life return is not inferior to her. After swallowing and defeating the 5th mirror image, his strength has soared to the extreme. Every time, without exception, Angelina was beaten to death, and every time she screamed, Angelina was defeated. But Angelina not only did not lose heart, but she became more and more courageous. Her fighting power was stronger than Khalifa and Hancock. All kinds of postures were used, which made Lu Chengkong enjoy an unparalleled taste. Only Khalifa, Hancock, and Aunt Xiao have let go to this extent. And Angelina's wild beauty, the feeling of being hot, aroused Lu Chengkong's desire to conquer. Therefore, Lu Chengkong took special care of Angelina every time, and would not let her go without making her a father or mother, but Angelina seemed to not care about it at all, instead she seemed to be addicted. In fact, she is also longing for this feeling, the feeling of being possessed and conquered by the person she loves. She is arrogant and at the same time extremely single-minded. Lu Chengkong can be happy, she can pose without caring in embarrassing poses. Of course, Sophie was aware of Angelina's little juju, but she didn't stop her, because she could see that Angelina's smile from time to time was definitely from her heart. Invisibly, it also made her curious about Lu Chengkong, who can make Angelina, who is no less proud than herself, look like a little girl. At the same time, she also knew that Angelina only had 1 month left. Now, she also wanted Angelina to cherish every day and live happily, so she didn't stop Angelina, but pretended not to know every night. But no matter how happy or painful the day is, the passage of time cannot be stopped, and this day has come. Enel, Hancock, Khalifa and I are going, to put it horribly, after we leave, if we come back, it will be handed over to you. You have to be a free-spirited god, as if you have supreme power, an emperor who controls countless lives and deaths is up to you. Yes, but definitely not as bewitched by power as the Gorosei, 5 elders. Quote. Lu Chengkong pulled Enel aside and spoke to Enel in this tone for the first time, which made Enel feel a sense of unease, and also made him, a predator who didn't care about anything, actually raise a painful feeling. I feel that the original pain, the parting of comrades in arms is such a feeling. Let's go. Lu Chengkong ha isho, it can be said that his life is really good and fulfilling. There are a lot of confidants who accompany him all his life, and he also has confidants and brothers. Although not many, there is also one, and that is Enel, power, strength, reputation, etc. All kinds of things that everyone seems to be dreaming of, he has tried. Even if he dies, it is nothing. Wait, just when Lu Chengkong turned around and took Khalifa, Hancock and Angelina about to have a chic farewell, Sophie suddenly appeared and stopped Lu Chengkong at the same time. What's wrong? Lu Chengkong asked. Take it, Sophie said as she took off a ring in her hand and walked towards Lu Chengkong. This is. Lu Chengkong took the ring, looked at the simple ring in his hand curiously, and squeezed it out of curiosity, but what surprised him was that no matter how hard he tried, the ring was terribly hard. It just doesn't move at all. To know how powerful Lu Chengkong is, he knows very well that this ring can actually be stunned by Lu Chengkong's huge force. It seems that it is not an ordinary thing. This ring is an active space. I stole it from the Void Demon back then. I think it was created by the fusion of the 4 fruit abilities of time, space, creation, life, and light at the peak of the Void Demon. The space inside is about 1/3 the size of Drew. It has everything in it, green mountains and green waters. It's just a paradise. You can put your wife in it. Don't look at me like that. If you are not looking at Angelina's street, I won't give it to you. In fact, Sophie still had a word in her heart that she didn't say. That is, she didn't want Lu Chengkong to have the slightest worry, and could let go of all restraints and concentrate on fighting. Of course, there were a lot of reasons for Angelina. If it weren't for Angelina's original garden, Sophie would never give this precious ring to Lu Chengkong. Of course, the ability of this ring is quite shocking to people in the world of One Piece, King of Pirates, but Lu Chengkong, who has read the novel of self-cultivation, was only surprised for a while. After all, he has heard of storage rings. However, this is the first time I have heard of this kind of active space ring that can accommodate living creatures and contains a paradise inside. Of course, Sophie said these words directly to Lu Chengkong, and no one other than the two of them could hear them. Put down the spiritual imprint, and then drop the blood. I have already released my identity. Sophie walked forward without looking back, completely ignoring Lu Chengkong's grateful gaze. However, Lu Chengkong didn't care at all. He remembered this love. If there is a chance in the future, he will definitely pay it back. When he said that, he immediately engraved the spiritual imprint on the ring with a touch of emotion. A drop of blood. As for the mental imprint, it is the use of mental power. When the fruit ability or haki is cultivated to the admiral level, the mental power can be used initially, not to mention the current powerhouse Lu Chengkong. The use of mental power is it's as simple as eating and drinking water. When the heart is there, the spiritual power is there, so this ring will soon belong to Lu Chengkong. 350 put your wife in. Khalifa, come and try. After Lu Chengkong dripped blood and confessed his master, he found that he seemed to have some kind of peculiar connection with the ring in his hand. There was no way to describe the connection in words. Okay, Khalifa can be said to be very obedient to Lu Chengkong. As long as it is Lu Chengkong, she will not think about the pros and cons at all, and even agrees without thinking about it. He doesn't care about his own safety at all, and it is precisely because of this that no matter how many women Lu Chengkong has, Khalifa has always been the same as Hancock in the first and second place, and no one can replace him. Relax, don't resist. Lu Chengkong found that receiving living creatures is not so simple. You can't just accept it. If you want the other party to relax, you can't resist the slightest bit. The opponent cannot be included in the ring. Brush. Wow, that's amazing. Nami was stunned as Khalifa, who was standing in front of her, suddenly disappeared. She couldn't help but glanced at Shirahoshi on the side. Her eyes turned into little stars and looked at Lu Chengkong said. Chengkong's thoughts, Khalifa, who had disappeared, reappeared in an instant. Shirahoshi couldn't wait to run over and ask Khalifa what happened just now. Staying where Khalifa went just now, I have to say that Shirahoshi, the mermaid's intuition is very accurate. It's weird inside, it should be considered an independent space. It's beautiful, it's just a paradise, and there are all kinds of facilities. I think Sophie put it in. I don't think it's too much to live in it. Boring. Khalifa thought for a while, organized her own language, and then said to the girls around her. Obviously, she also knew Lu Chengkong's thoughts. In addition, after experiencing it for herself just now, she found that she compared everything about the space inside. Satisfied, green mountains and rivers, various scenery and facilities, you should not be bored in it. Wow, I'm going in too. Shirahoshi, Nami, Nojiko, the more lively women, cheered immediately, looking impatient. Lu Chengkong was relieved when he saw their expressions, and immediately thought about it. The wives around him disappeared in an instant, leaving only Hancock, Khalifa and Angelina, 3 daughters. Kid in the sky, I don't think you have any worries now, right? Although Whitebeard heard Sophie's words, he had lived so long after all, and he had never seen such a scene. Although he was surprised that there was such a thing in the world, but however, his expression did not change in the slightest, and he did not have any greed desires. Whitebeard truly deserved to be Whitebeard. Yeah, before I was worried that they would be affected or caught and threatened me, but now I am completely relieved. Lu Chengkong nodded and took a deep breath. When he reached the center of Laugh Tale, his feet jumped a little, his figure burst out, and he disappeared from everyone's sight in an instant. Follow, Angelina said to Khalifa and Hancock beside her, and burst out like Lu Chengkong, followed by Hancock, Khalifa, Whitebeard, Hades Rayleigh, Shanks, Kaxi, Hawkeye, Sanji, Zoro, and even Sengoku and Luffy, Ace, and Smoker, who insisted on joining in and asked not to buy the human fruit Buddha, followed suit. Of course, their speed couldn't keep up with the previous ones. As for Margaret and Juliana Lu Chengkong, they originally planned to dismiss them. After all, their strength is definitely top-notch in the eyes of ordinary people in the world of One Piece, King of Pirates. Even the Admiral-level powerhouse can't stop them from attacking a few times, but Lu Chengkong doesn't want them to fight the mirror image and then swallow it. Mirror image, after all, it is too dangerous, it is easy to explode and die, and Hawkeye, Whitebeard and others all participated in the Battle of Mirror Image, and they all swallowed it 3 times and reached their limit. However, anyone who has swallowed the mirror image, including Lu Chengkong, feels that it is difficult for them to control the violent power. The idea of letting them join the battle, of course, Juliana and Margaret kept angering Lu Chengkong, but in the end they were knocked out by Lu Chengkong's giant dragon, and of course it was over. With Lu Chengkong's group, the worst strengths are the 4 Emperors level, the wrong vote, it is the 4 Emperors level, even Ace, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Shi, Smoker are the 4 Emperors level powerhouses. They anyone's own parents have the strength to surpass Vice Admiral, and even surpass the strength of Chiwume. Only Under Admiral, after swallowing his own body image 3 times, the strength has broken through Admiral and reached the level of the 4 emperors, which is better than the original. The red-haired Shanks with a broken hand in it is even stronger. Laugh Tale's gravity disappeared under the control of Sophie's Fruit of Destiny, so they were not affected at all and soon came to the center, and Sophie's raider also appeared in their sight, but at this time, Sophie's face was unprecedentedly serious and solemn, even a little ugly. What's wrong? Although Lu Chengkong didn't know what was going on, he instinctively had a bad feeling after seeing Sophie's expression. It's stronger than I thought. Although he lost the most essential devil fruit and most of the devil fruit, he didn't expect to be so powerful after his injury. Sophie didn't hide it. After all, she still knew it. It's best to say it, and at the same time, she also told the opponent's unique skills when she fought against the Void Demon. In other words, the best way to deal with him is to use Haki's attack in every move and every style. After listening to Sophie's words, Hades Rayleigh said in a deep voice. People without emperor-colored Haki bodyguards basically don't have devil fruits. In the body, after all, if you have a devil fruit and no emperor color, you will definitely be controlled by the Void Demon, and Sophie's words also made them understand that the most effective way to deal with the Void Demon is to use Haki. That's right, he still has a part of the devil fruit ability. After he comes out, he must be suppressed here, otherwise he will get Laugh Tale's fruit ability after he goes out, or escape to find other. If you have the fruit ability, you won't need to fight at that time, you can just smear your neck with a knife. Sophie said this with an unmistakable tone, which immediately made Whitebeard and others shudder, and the unspoken secret voice was worthy of being the strongest of the 20 kings, and it was indeed extraordinary. 351. The ancestor of the devil fruit was discovered. Also, he summoned the devil fruit ability in his body and turned it into a little devil, and the ability of these little devils is the ability of some kind of devil fruit, and after summoning the little devil, the strength of the void devil's body has not weakened in the slightest. Sophie explained. Then we will block those little demons after he summons them, so that you can focus on the other side's big demon of the void. Hawkeye is worthy of being Hawkeye, and he immediately captured the most crucial information from Sophie's words. That's right, the strength of the little devil is weak and strong. The strongest may have the strength beyond the 4 emperors. The weakest is the strength of the admiral level, and there are quite a few. You should pay attention to it. When Sophie said this, she originally wanted to explain, but unfortunately God didn't seem to want to give her this chance. At this moment, the earth in Laugh Tale began to vibrate, and the magnitude of the vibration was getting bigger and bigger. The nearby sea level began to rise, and soon layers of waves were formed, and layers of dark clouds suddenly appeared in the sky. As if to cover the sun, the rumbling sounded abruptly, and electric snakes flickered out, really changing the scenery. He's coming out, be careful of one of his devil fruits, elemental fruits, which can use 10 elemental abilities of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, ice, dark light. Sophie immediately snorted, and the surging purple energy surged like waves. She came out, covering her body, forming a purple battle suit. The elemental fruit is really a strange ability. I would say why there is no such fruit ability in the top 10 Logia. Although it is not comparable to fate, nothingness, time, and space, it is definitely more powerful than the 6 top Logia fruits. Maybe even space might not even have it. Quote. Lu Chengkong scolded, and at the same time understood what was going on, why the elemental fruit, which also exists in the legend, was not included in the top 10 Logia fruit abilities. It turned out that he was said to have possessed by the Void Demon, no wonder what. Sophie, it's been 800 years, and I'm still here. You are the only one of the 20 kings who once dominated the world. Just surrender to me, and you won't die if you surrender to me. Suddenly, an incomparably majestic voice sounded in the air, shaking the world like thunder, and even the air was stagnant, but Lu Chengkong could still hear a trace of anger and joy in the tone of this voice, obviously anger. Sophie had sealed him for so many years, and happily he finally came out, free. HMPH, just because of your ugly thing, You want me to surrender to Sophie? Get out of here, Sophie said coldly with disdain. After so many years of dealing with it, it was obvious that Sophie was also very interested in the Void Demon. To understanding. Really, then I can only say, go to hell. The owner of this voice seemed to be angry, and the change in mood was comparable to a woman's mood, even comparable to the weather in autumn, unpredictable, just now also happy, and now it has become murderous and awe-inspiring. Click. The earth suddenly shattered, revealing a huge crack. At the same time, this crack was frozen at an alarming speed. The entire laugh tail turned into a world of ice and snow in an instant. The palm of his hand broke out of the ice, and soon the appearance of the Void Demon had come into view. It is just like the demon in the fairy tale, very ugly, and it is incomparable to the appearance of the demon bloodline inherited by Lu Chengkong after transforming. I saw that the Void Demon was nearly 15 meters tall, twice as tall as Whitebeard, with a pair of large hands open, with 5 sharp nails on the fingers that seemed to be able to cut through everything, forming 2 pairs of claws. There is a huge tail of about 5 meters on the back, and the head is covered with scales and horns. One of the horns is the longest and largest. There are also a pair of folded wings on the back. Standing in front of everyone gives a terrible sense of oppression. Like an infallible mountain standing in the sky and the earth. Hey, after the death of the 20 kings, there are still such amazing people. There are still 3 people who master the Emperor's color hockey, and there is a kind of hockey that is so peculiar and unprecedented. The Void Demon did not attack immediately, but looked at the group of people in front of him with a pair of huge green eyes. Yes, 3. Sophie didn't know what method was used, or Khalifa didn't know what had happened. So many conqueror tyrants can't awaken the Emperor color, but Khalifa, who can only be regarded as a relatively good person at the beginning, has awakened the Emperor color hockey now, which is really unbelievable. But Sophie, I have also said that the owner of Conqueror just has a greater chance than ordinary people, and it is easier to get the Emperor color. It does not mean that people who do not have the qualifications of Conqueror, who are not kings, cannot have the awakened Emperor color hockey. This little girl looks like, could it be her daughter? When the Void Demon's eyes turned to Angelina, it swallowed and stopped, and the huge pupils shrank, and said in a surprised tone. That's right, she is Anna's daughter. Sophie didn't hide it. After all, it's no secret. Angelina's appearance is exactly the same as her mother's. After that, Angelina exuded the same breath as her mother. How could it be concealed from the Void Demon? It seems that your 20 kings are really not easy. I thought you were calculated by me, but I didn't expect to have a backhand. The Void Demon sighed in admiration. Obviously, he admired the 20 kings very much. Although he was calculated by him in the end, he still couldn't hide his appreciation for the 20 kings. If he could, he definitely wanted to take the 20 kings, as it's a pity that this is obviously impossible. Stop talking nonsense, let's fight if you want. At this moment, Sophie showed her sharp edge. Obviously, the enemy was very jealous when she met her. It turned into hundreds of purple lights and shot at the big demon in the void. Che, don't forget that the fruit of destiny is my ability. Is it useful to me? The Void Demon waved his huge claws, and the dark green light covering the claws actually easily resisted Sophie's attack. It seems that he, like Sophie, has a very good understanding of devil fruits, so let's use this one, Zongkong Kongsha. Countless thoughts flashed through Lu Chengkong's heart like lightning, but his body did not move. Slowing down in the slightest, the right foot kicked the front, and the vacuum slash that was enough to smash the sky directly cut through the void and slammed into the body of the Void Demon. The strong strength and sharpness actually knocked back the Void Demon's hill-like body. Several steps. 352 Gang Fight Void Demon. What a sharp physical skill. The Void Demon was not angry, but looked at Lu Chengkong with great interest. He didn't know why his intuition told him that the man in front of him would give him a sense of danger, so he secretly but pays special attention to Lu Chengkong. Nothing. That's right, it's the power of the fruit of nothingness, but it's not Angelina, it's Khalifa. This is because Sophie on the side of Angelina used some kind of fruit of destiny when she was replacing the fruit of the white tiger. The ability actually kept the Fruit of Nothingness, and at the same time gave the Fruit of Nothingness to Khalifa, who mastered the color of the Emperor. Medusa's Stare. Boa Hancock can be said to be the first time to use the unique trick of his own soul fruit, but everything that is seen by her eyes will be petrified, whether it is a person or a thing. Perforating the World. Angelina also showed weakness, manipulating the chi of Jengjin that only those with the ability from the tiger fruit could use, turned it into countless swords of Jengjin that pierced everything and flew to the great demon of the void. As for Whitebeard and others, they stood on the side and didn't make a move. It wasn't that they didn't want to make a move, but that the rest of them, except Whitebeard, who could barely join in, would only become a burden, and they had more important tasks, which was waiting for the little devil. Appear. It's all my strongest devil fruit ability. The void demon's expression is very strange. It is really uncomfortable to be attacked by the enemy with his most proud ability, but he is the ancestor of the devil fruit after all. Although he has now lost most of his powerful abilities, with his knowledge of devil fruit, these extremely terrifying tricks that others seem to face him seem to be out of place and easily resisted. The fruit ability is used as an auxiliary restraint. The only effective ones are hockey and physical skills. Sophie shouted and rushed forward. The whole person seemed to turn into a light and move to the front of the void demon in an instant. By Nen. The pink fist blasted directly. It's just that even Whitebeard can only sigh at the power contained in this white and tender pink fist. With the strength of Lu Changkong, Sophie, Angelina, Khalifa, and Hancock, each punch and kick are all powerful. The mighty power of cracking rocks and pulling mountains and rivers. Hockey. I was sealed by you for more than 800 years and I was thinking hard about dealing with you powerful emperor-colored hockeys. Do you really think I am as easy to bully as I was 800 years ago? With a bang, I saw Sophie's incomparably powerful emperor-colored hockey and armament hockey. It was as if he had been reminded of painful memories from many years ago. His eyes, which had been plain like stagnant water, suddenly turned blood red, and a terrifying murderous and bloody aura emanated from his body. How many people have to kill to have such a bloody aura? I saw the void demon's eyes suddenly condensed and shrunk, and the emperor-colored hockey, who could not be seen with the naked eye, stopped moving forward as if he had encountered an opponent. It should be said that he was entangled by something. Spirit. Sophie's face changed and she blurted out. It can be said that as a 20 king who has survived for so many years, no one knows hockey better than her. To be honest, hockey seems indescribable and indescribable, but in fact the original form is formed by a person's spirit and spirit. When a person's spirit and spirit are strong enough, hockey will slowly form. This is armament and observation hockey, and conqueror hockey is born with it, which means that the natural spirit and spirit of the person with the aptitude of the king are far beyond colleagues. You can see Luffy's persistence and tenacity, and Whitebeard's performance in the major events of the original book can also be seen as his strong and firm spirit and will. Hockeys. The Emperor Hockey, the other is the Demon Emperor Hockey, with the most primitive spirit. It is really unbelievable, but fortunately, the Void the Big Devil is destined to be unable to have hockey. No matter how strong his spirit is, it is useless. This is the so-called existence without absolute perfection. That's right, although I voted to become hockey, it may be because of the devil fruit energy in my body, but my spirit is not comparable to yours. Even Sophie, the strongest of your 20 kings, can't compete with me. Compare. The void demon said proudly. What kind of creature he is. No one knows where he came from, but one thing is certain is that he has lived for a long time. His spirit and spirit are very powerful, and he can form an invisible spirit with pure spirit and spirit. One or two can be seen by the Emperor Hockey who fought hard against Sophie, but unfortunately, if it is a one-on-one fight, Sophie may have to lose all the way, but now it is a group fight, where is there any morality to speak of? Demon Emperor's Decree. Lu Chengkong didn't talk nonsense anymore. If he didn't make a move, it was enough. As soon as he made a move, it was the profound meaning of the strongest demon Rokushiki. It contained the stunt of time and space energy, and directly broke the shackles of space and time. The body of the devil makes it impossible to dodge. Heaven is jealous of Gurren. Hancock snorted, not to be outdone, using her unique ability. Like Lu Changkong, the fruit ability is the assistant, Haki and Tihang are the leaders, a beautiful flower that makes heaven and earth do it. The pattern of lotus flowers that even the heaven and the earth will be jealous is formed in the sky, and it blasts directly at the great demon of the void. This Gurren is just like a Hancock, so beautiful that even the heaven and the earth will be jealous, and it is extremely powerful. Incinerate. Xiaoyu. Khalifa and Hancock also use their own stunts at the same time. The names of their stunts are 2 words, and their abilities are very similar. They are all assisted by devil fruit abilities, and physical skills and Haki are the main ones. They may be masters. The reason is that Lu Changkong's 5 people have seen through the essence of strength, whether it is devil fruit or how powerful Haki is. The most important thing is to have a strong body, physique, and will. Others, including Haki, can only be full of assistance, because no matter how powerful the devil fruit's ability and Haki are, if your body, will, and physique are not strong enough, you will be attacked by someone sneakily. If you die, you can't even bear these abilities at all, and you can't use these abilities to the fullest. The core of the real essence is that your body and will are strong enough. This is the most important thing. Even in the technology planet Earth, there is a saying that the body is the capital of revolution, and the importance of the body can be seen, and when facing the great demon of the void, you can experience the importance of the body and strong will, which is the most essential strength, can face all foreign objects. The premise is that your body and will are strong enough. 353 Depressed Void Demon. Husband, official, Deer really has foresight, and he discovered the essence of strength at such a young age. Khalifa, Hancock, and the 3 Angelina girls who later heard from the first 2 girls sighed in unison. They admired it very much. Lu Changkong always emphasized the importance of body and will when he was very young, and this battle is the most important for them to realize the importance of strong body and will. If they only focus on the fruit power like Ace and Crocodile before, the ancestor of the void demon who faced the devil fruit would have lost his sharp minions and could even stay and watch the show, so it has always been regardless of devil fruit or Haki. How powerful! Lu Changkong, Khalifa, Hancock, and Angelina who lived in the remnant blood island since they were young, have a deep understanding of the importance of physique and will, and it is precisely because of this that they have always been the most powerful or not devil fruit or Haki, but body and will. A real savage kid is as tough as the 20 kings. No, that man is even tougher than the 20 kings. As soon as the expert made a move, he knew whether there was any. The void demon and Lu Changkong and the others immediately discovered the fact that he was surprised, that it was not the Sophie he thought that he was facing these people. It was this unfamiliar, very young man, who also remembered the name Lu Changkong in his heart. This man is definitely a formidable enemy, and he can actually see through the essence of the power in this world and cultivate it from an early age. It is definitely not easy. Boom. No matter what the great demon of the void thinks, he still has to face the end of being beaten by the group. The powerful physical skills of Lu Changkong's 4 people make him unable to dodge and can only hide it. Moreover, his body is so big and his goal is so obvious. It is difficult to hide, even if his speed is very fast and his movements are super agile. Because Sophie, who didn't use her own stunt, was holding him back, so that he could only resist but not dodge. As expected of Sophie, although she did not lead the battle this time, she played an irreplaceable role. The void demon ate these stunts abruptly, and his overbearing power actually pushed his huge body hundreds of meters away, but at this time it also gave the void demon a little bit of space, allowing him to counterattack opportunity. Summon. The void demon roared, wanting to say goodbye in disgust, thinking that only you can fight in groups, and this demon will too. I saw the void demon open his huge pair of ugly wings with many holes. Nearly 10 meatballs suddenly bulged on his wings, and soon these meatballs broke away from the wings and turned into little devils about 1.8 meters tall. Of course, this small size is relative to the body of the void demon. Shoot! Whitebeard immediately shouted, and rushed over first. Facing the 10 little demons, he chose the strongest 2 without saying a word, leaving the rest to Hawkeye, Redhead, Garp and others. Is this retribution? Back then, he successfully calculated the 20 kings and controlled those who were shortlisted for eating devil fruits and beat up the severely injured and weak 20 kings. Now they are actually shortlisted and beaten. The Void Demon was very depressed at this time. Facing the indomitable Lu Chengkong 5, he found that although his strength was stronger than the 5 in front of him, it was obviously limited. But looking at the other side's posture is obviously the same. However, at this time, as the battle became more and more intense, he was no longer allowed to think too much. Even if he felt that there were devil fruits nearby and wanted to absorb those devil fruits to enhance his own strength, he could not do it. Can continue to use their own cards. Elemental Field. The Void Demon shouted in anger. He was beaten by the finalists for so long. Although he was only slightly disadvantaged, he was still very unhappy when he was arrogant. The field composed of 10 different color groups instantly disappeared from him. It was released from the body, and it continued to extend all around. The speed was very fast, so that Lu Chengkong and others were shrouded in the field even if they could not evacuate. The Field of Destiny. Sophie is worthy of being an old opponent of the Void Demon. She knows the opponent's stunt very well. When she feels the invisible pressure on her body, she can only use 50% of her strength and immediately uses the Fruit of Fate. Ability, the Field of Destiny. Other words, the top 10 Logia fruit abilities and the unique fields of elemental fruits. It is precisely because of the existence of this field that the top 10 Logia devil fruit abilities can face the 5 major animals. The moment the user's strength surges reason. It's very simple, the strength in her own domain is doubled, but the other party is oppressed, just like Sophie, who can't improve her strength by eating zone fruit, will be reduced by 50%, but after she uses the reputation domain you can immediately compete with the opponent. Although it is not as powerful as the devil fruit of the void, the devil fruit. After all, the power of the devil fruit comes from the devil of the void. Of course, when the devil fruit falls into his hands, it can exert the power that cannot be exerted by humans, but this is enough. At least it can compete with the opponent's elemental field. Since then, it can be seen that Sophie's Fruit of Destiny is powerful and the ability to use the fruit is superb. The White Tiger Transformation. The Devil Turns. The Realm of Nothingness. Medusa is coming. Lu Chengkong and Angelina immediately use the Demon Transformation and the White Tiger Transformation after feeling that their strengths were being suppressed, and one was to turn the Demon Transformation to the second stage. Angelina was still using Tiger Wings, which was obviously a split-second transformation to the extreme. As for Khalifa, of course, it uses the Fruit of Nothingness. Khalifa itself is very experienced in the use and development of the Fruit of Light. After turning the Fruit of Light into nothingness, he ate the Fruit of Nothingness, and then Angelina's former user of the Fruit of Nothingness has nothing under the reserved teaching. In addition, Sophie's ability to use the Fruit of Destiny appeared in Khalifa's mind about a message about the Fruit of Nothingness. Obviously, this is Sophie's feeling about the Fruit of Nothingness. Under the influence of the external pressure of the Big Devil, etc., Khalifa has brought the Fruit of Nothingness to such a degree in such a short period of time, even surpassing the former Angelina by a lot. The end. I was a little worried that Hancock was Paramesha's soul fruit, sweet fruit. Lu Chengkong, who didn't know how to deal with it, saw that Hancock was covered with a layer of pink energy. Obviously, her appearance and figure had not changed in the slightest, but her charm it has increased countless times in an instant. No, this is no longer a charm, this is simply temptation, charm. 354 Ace, The Death of Luffy. Do you think I'm beautiful? With Pia Hancock Yanran Isho, the terrifying charm released, the temptation even the Void Great Demon was instantly absent-minded, not to mention the nearby Whitebeard and others and those little demons. He was sluggish, his eyes were hazy, and under Hancock's special care, only Lu Chengkong remained awake. Opportunity, Mirror Fusion. When Lu Chengkong was awake, he knew that Hancock's move was indistinguishable from the enemy. She could barely keep herself awake. Knowing that this was the best time, he immediately summoned 3 body mirror clones, performed mirror fusion, and his strength skyrocketed in an instant. Time and space jumps, runs through time and space. Lu Chengkong's flowing silver hair is windless and automatic. The whole person seems to jump out of space and time, not bound by everything. Time is lost a little bit. Lu Chengkong simply spends any time. Coming directly to the void demon, silver-black rays of light burst out from all over his body, and these rays of light instantly turned into a silver-black cone shape covering Lu Chengkong's right hand. Lu Chengkong roared angrily. Lu Chengkong had already reserved the slightest chance for the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As for why he didn't use the demon sovereign, it was very simple. His body had reached its limit after swallowing the mirror image 5 times. Fusion has reached the extremes that can be achieved so far. If he was using the demon sovereign, Lu Chengkong might explode and die in just one move, so Lu Chengkong could only choose between demon sovereign transformation and mirror fusion, because he knew that once the two moves were used together, he would wait for himself. The only thing left was death. In the end, he chose mirror fusion, because he needed the multiplied fruit and time brought by mirror fusion. The ability of space fruit cooperated to maximize the effect that his stunt could achieve. Boom! Such a loud noise and a terrifying passive force awakened everyone long ago, but the void demon was very unlucky. After a second of absence, he broke free of Hancock's Medusa. It's a pity that during the battle even 0.01 seconds of distraction can decide the life and death of a battle, not to mention that the void demon is still distracted by Hancock's intentional calculations, and he is not prepared at all. So the moment he came back to his senses, he knew that it was not good, and before he could react, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. Even the great demon of the void couldn't help but scream. At the same time, Whitebeard, who was awakened by the shock, immediately threw out his fists and hit the little devil who had also just recovered. Obviously, he planned to sneak attack and hope that it would work. After all, Whitebeard would be confident to defeat either of the two strongest little demons in a one-on-one situation, but if it was two, it would be a bit of a hang-up. In addition to the screams of the void great demon, there was also a scream from the other side. Rayleigh looked around, his eyes almost burst out. What did he see? His disciple Luffy didn't know if it was to save Zoro and Sanji or to keep the 3 little demons in front of him from dodging. He actually hugged the 3 little demons directly with his own body. You must know that Luffy is no longer a rubber man. The people participating in this battle are not only those who use the Emperor's color or the Devil's color, but everyone else is without the fruit ability. With Luffy's inner body, Baojia's 3 strengths are no less than or even better than his little devil at this time, and the fate can be imagined. Luffy, Zoro and Sanji wailed loudly. Obviously they knew Luffy's plan. According to the strength of the 3 of them, they might cast something against the 3 little demons in a short time, but they were basically doomed to lose in the long run. And once defeated, everyone else has their own opponents who can't come to save them, so Luffy can only use this extreme method. Regardless of Luffy's shortcomings, why Lu Chengkong doesn't like his persistence, his passion, his rottenness, and his unpleasantness, but there is one thing Lu Chengkong appreciates very much, and that is to protect his acknowledged companions and relatives, and at this moment Luffy it was also done, and Zoro and Sanji at this time also knew that they could not be saved. They had no choice but to use their strongest trick to kill Luffy and the 3 little demons at the same time, otherwise Luffy might die. What's the matter, you? Ace heard such a familiar voice, and the voice contained determination and painful conditions and turned his head. Distraction during battle is fatal, even the void demon. A powerhouse of all levels was lost for a second, and Lu Chengkong opened a big hole in his chest. He didn't know if he could survive, let alone him. At the same time as he turned his head, his opponent, the little devil, also launched a sneak attack. I don't know if he was really unlucky. His fruit ability is to burn fruit, while his opponent's little devil is water and fruit. Yes, it is his nemesis. It should be said that the two are mutually reinforcing, but Ace, who is distracted at this moment, is not fighting each other, but is restrained by the water and fruit of the little devil. I don't know if the inertial history of the original book is really huge. Because of the intervention of Lu Chengkong and others, the original book Ace had successfully escaped, but because he wanted to save Luffy and pushed him away, he was instantly killed by Akainu. But now, there is no escape from the big event. It's just that there may be a causal cycle in this battle, but Ace became distracted by Luffy's screams and finally was attacked by the little devil, turned into a water dragon and pierced his chest and died. The original book died directly because of Luffy. Now, although not so directly, but indirectly because of Luffy. Others can save you once, but if your own strength is not strong enough, you can't escape death. Maybe your death is doomed, because of my reasons, you have lived a few more years, but also because you are not strong enough, your mind is not firm and focused. You still died because of outside causes, and also because of Luffy. It's just that it may be the price you paid for a few more years of living. The original Luffy was saved by you and didn't die. Now he is dead, but he died for his companions. Luffy's scream was distracting and died. Although Lu Chengkong didn't turn his head to look at it, he heard the voices of the two of them and guessed the whole thing between the light and the flint. Since then, it can be seen that it is not the historical inertia of the original book that cannot be changed, but the person who wrote it. Not strong enough. The current Ace is the best example. He lived a few more years because of Lu Chengkong, but he died in the end. In the end, it wasn't because he wasn't strong enough and couldn't be distracted during the battle. It's no wonder people can actually do it. 355 The Void Demon's Whole Card. Damn, Ace, you die for me. Whitebeard, as Ace's father, of course also understands what's going on, but at this moment you can see the gap between Ace and his father. Luffy is in Ace. The emotional status in Cis' heart is so high that he does not have enough willpower to control himself not to be distracted and affected. But Whitebeard did. Although he was heartbroken, his reason told him that if he wanted to avenge Ace's death, he had to kill the two little demons in front of him before he could avenge Ace. This is the gap in realm, not the gap in strength. Now Ace's strength is much stronger than the original, but he still died in the end. If he has Whitebeard's mood and can control himself, he will definitely not. In death, this kind of mistake is also made, and to put it bluntly, it deserves death. Roar, let the old man die. Garp, Rayleigh and the redhead all came up through real training. Of course, the mood is not comparable to Ace's. Ace has a defective mood. The influence of Roger, the reason, also he has swallowed the mirror image and his strength has improved too fast, but these are not the most deadly. The most important thing is that he does not have Lu Chengkong, red hair, Kaxi, Rayleigh, Whitebeard and others who have been fighting for a long time and have been tempered by life and death. He died. But Rayleigh, the redhead, and Kaxi made the right choice just like Whitebeard. Instead of being distracted by death, they turned their grief and anger into strength and desperately killed their opponents, the little demons in front of them. What a pair of tragic brothers. Lu Chengkong sighed in his heart, but the attack did not stop. As the saying goes, while you are sick, he does not know what kind of life the Void Demon is, but even a white giant like Whitebeard, the native life in the world of One Piece, King of Pirates, can jump alive with a hole in the chest, and even beat Akainu to the point where he can't fight back. Not to mention the unknown monster like the Void Demon. Although there is a hole in his chest, Lu Chengkong does not dare to stop. Underestimating the enemy and being distracted are fatal. In this way. Cough cough. Damn, it's been so many years. Even if I faced 20 kings back then, I haven't been hurt like this, but I didn't expect you to be so embarrassed, bastard, give me death. Void Great Demon endure feeling the severe pain, looking at the various tricks that were clearly planning to take advantage of his own life, he immediately scolded. Devil Fruit Devour. The Void Demon roared wildly. Although he was angry and in pain, he definitely did not lose his mind. After the injury, his strength did not decrease much, but because of his madness, his strength reached 1%. 100, folded his hands together to block the incoming attack, then took advantage of the momentum to retreat and flew into the air. I saw that more than a dozen types of rays of light suddenly shot out of his body, and as long as you take a closer look, you will find that the center of these rays of light is actually surrounded by a demon. If each ray of light is one, that means there are at least 15. A devil fruit, and all these devil fruits actually flew to the top of the void demon, and then merged into a hole and rushed directly into the void demon's heavenly spirit cover. Roar! The void demon's body suddenly swelled, and the momentum on his body also soared at the same time. In the blink of an eye, his strength increased by leaps and bounds. If Lu Chengkong and the 5 people could have the upper hand against the void demon just now, it is simply a 7/8 the gap between a child and an adult. How could this be? Sophie's face turned pale at this moment. Luffy Ace, who were nothing more than a trickster in her heart, she didn't care at all, and she didn't even care about it at all. She would do this, it was entirely because of the change of the void great demon. Seeing her surprise and surprised expression, she knew that she was the first time she had seen it. Surprise, Sophie, I didn't expect that when I was sealed by you, I didn't use this trick. This is my treasure chest. It's really distressing. I think that the boat capsized in the gutter, and I think it's all but me. Other than you human beings, there are people who can exert the soul fruit to such a degree. It seems that the body of charm is not a legend, but a real existence. It is not wrong to be overcast by a woman with a charming body. The void demon roared constantly, and when he looked at Hancock with his big eyes, he was full of wickedness and resentment. If his eyes could kill, Hancock would have died countless times. It's no wonder that Angelina was able to use the white tiger fruit to a level that only the great demon of the void could have. It was because of her mother that her constitution was born different from ordinary people. And the reason why Hancock can exert his soul fruit beyond the expectations of the void demon is what the void demon said about the body of charm. It seems that Hancock's constitution should be a body of charm. No wonder I saw her when I was a child. Eating soul fruit has such a great charm, so it is. Lu Chengkong was surprised at the great increase in the strength of the great void demon, and at the same time he suddenly realized that the question that he had been wondering all along had finally been answered, but the price of this answer was too great. Since you have discovered a human being with a charming body, you will not be able to live. With your existence and soul fruit, as long as the strength is not too great, even if I restore all the previous devil fruits, I will be extremely jealous. You must die. The void demon said and moved. His body speed, which was at least twice as large as before, was not slow at all, even much faster than before, with a lot of soul, and he came to Hancock in the blink of an eye, with a huge fist. Hit Hancock, apparently intending to kill Hancock with one blow, from which it can be seen that he is not talking nonsense. Hancock is really too much a threat to her. My woman can also be killed by you. Lu Chengkong's face changed greatly. Although he was in a state of fusion of demon transformation and mirror image, he was not as good as the void demon, but he still managed to save Hancock next to him. Boom! At the critical moment, Lu Chengkong appeared in front of Hancock, pushed Hancock out with one hand, and at the same time punched the huge fist of the void demon. The two disproportionate fists collided suddenly, driven by the leaked strength. The strong wind that came out was swept away in all directions like a 10th-level storm. Poochie! After a stalemate, the huge force that rebounded made Lu Chengkong's throat sweet, and he spit out blood when he looked up to the sky. From this, it can be seen that the strength of the void demon has made his already powerful physical strength even more terrifying. 356 cards are out. The sky, Khalifa, Angelina, and Hancock cried out sadly. They were already beautiful, and the sad expression on their faces was even more coveted. It's a pity that, as the great demons of the void of different races, they directly ignored the beauty. Color, shot again, showing his absolute murderous intentions. Damn you, Jay Luo collects his soul. Hancock's cold, emotional voice floated out of Cherry's mouth, as if it froze the air nearby, as the pink energy was released as if turned into a Galuo who collects and judges all souls, and has the momentum to directly collect the soul of the void demon. The power of the white tiger, fusion. Angelina let out a roar of a tiger, the wind from the tiger to the cloud from the dragon, and the wind of heaven and earth turned into countless huge tornadoes with Angelina's tiger roar, raging continuously. Silver-white the ray of light seemed to surround Angelina's body like a burning flame suit. Don't look at Angelina being KO'd by Lu Chengkong, who was transformed by the demon emperor, and think this move is not very powerful. On the contrary, how can it be simple as the most powerful unique ability of the white tiger fruit, but the struggle between speed is very wonderful. To describe it in one sentence, the difference is 1,000 miles away, and the speed is as fast as Lu Chengkong and Angeli at Na's level. Even if the gap is just a tiny bit, it's actually huge. At that time, Lu Chengkong smashed Angelina with one punch with absolute speed. The speed was faster than Angelina, the strength was stronger than Angelina, and the skills were not much different. To end with one punch, if you really want to divide life and death, it is impossible to beat Angelina with one punch. It's just that Lu Chengkong's strength really surpassed Angelina at that time. If you divide life and death, it's only Angelina who died and Lu Chengkong's life. Anyway, they all lost, and the purpose of the battle was not to defeat himself. Lu Chengkong, that the strength of the time can be achieved, then it is better to admit defeat than to waste time to fight. Anyway, I really couldn't compare to Lu Chengkong at that time, and at that time Angelina's heart was a little throbbing, and after a series of development lags, the result of conquering Angelina was achieved. Disillusionment of life and death. Judgment of fate. The attacks of Khalifa and Sufi also shot from the other two sides at the same time, and they attacked together from all four directions, as if they had formed some kind of battle. It's useless, I devoured the 15 devil fruits in my body, and my strength has been greatly improved in a short period of time. Just rely on your strength to try to stop me. The void demon said this with a very distressed tone. 15 devil fruits cost a lot. Because the so-called devouring the devil fruit in this move means that the devil fruit that has been swallowed can never appear again, even the void demon cannot use the ability to be swallowed up in these 15 times. Obviously, this is the practice of killing chickens and taking eggs. Although the strength can be improved in a short period of time, the price paid is too great. You must know that every devil fruit returned to his body is an improvement to his strength, but now he devours the devil fruit in his body, in exchange for only a short-term increase in strength, and then these devil fruits disappear forever. At the same time losing 15 devil fruits, his strength will decline again, which is simply worse. Obviously these are all desperate tricks. And over the years, he disbanded the devil fruit in his body before. Although he collected some later, many of them were all eaten by the 20 kings because of the competition of the 20 kings. Come for a blow. He only relies on one person's ability, and he has to hide his body from being discovered. He has no way to go outside with all his strength, and he can't leave it. After all, he has to count the 20 kings and pay attention to the 20 kings all the time, so he didn't find many devil fruits. After all he could perceive was the devil fruits in the nearby area, not the entire One Piece King of Pirates world where devil fruits are located. In the end, it seemed that he was about to successfully kill the 20 kings, but Sophie came over and sealed him for 800 years. There was no chance to find him outside. Now he finally came out and his injuries have fully recovered. However, he was beaten by the crowd again, and because of the unexpected factor of Hancock being a charming body, Lu Chengkong succeeded in a single move and was seriously injured. No wonder, that is to say, 15 kinds of devil fruits have completely disappeared in this world. Sophie continued to attack expressionlessly, terrifyingly fierce, but she thought to herself. Space-time wormhole. With the continuous battle of 4 people and 1 demon, Laugh Tale has been completely destroyed. Although Hancock's 4 people's devil fruit abilities are all top-notch, they can use the devil fruit to several terrifying players. The Great Demon of the Void, as well as his endless devil fruit burst ability, sometimes floods the Golden Mountains, sometimes burns Dame, sometimes the sun shines, sometimes devours the world, and all kinds of stunts emerge one after another. The most depressing thing for Hancock and the others is that the fruit ability they used as an attack was completely neutralized when they faced the Void Demon. At this time, the most useful fruit ability is Zone's White Tiger Fruit, which directly improves strength, not as a direct attack. It can be said that Angelina's pressure is the greatest among the 4 women. Just when the Void Demon hit the dark water and was going to suck Khalifa over, Lu Chengkong, who was blasted into the ground without knowing his life and death, suddenly came out, and the time-space wormhole attacked unexpectedly, and the terrible suction force made the void demon temporarily overwhelmed. It really surprised me. There are so many geniuses in this world. There are people outside me who can use space and time together. But do you think it will be useful to me? Seal the fruit and seal the world. After being overwhelmed for a short time, the void demon regained his composure in the blink of an eye. His right hand suddenly shot out a circle of circles exuding a strange aura and depicting esoteric patterns. It was obviously a seal formation, and as this seal formation spread in all directions spread out, as if the scope of the spread is infinite. The whole world seems to be sealed away, in an independent space, and the space-time wormhole is also sealed under the powerful sealing force. The terrible suction and pulling force disappear completely. What a strange fruit ability. Lu Chengkong wiped off the blood from the corner of his mouth. Although he looked very embarrassed, he didn't seem to see any injuries after wiping off the blood. From then on, we could see the terrible blood of Lu Chengkong's demon blood. Resilience, but that's only the appearance of recovery, but the inside is more serious. 357-357 I am actually afraid of death. Haha, this is my proud ability. Fortunately, I was very lucky to find this fruit in advance and did not fall into your hands. The name of this devil fruit is called the sealed fruit, and its ability is as straightforward and simple as the name. Seal everything, seal all things in heaven and earth. The void demon seemed to have the chance to win. While displaying all kinds of strange abilities, he explained in a leisurely manner, thinking that he planned to lose Sophie's face, embarrass her, and relieve the evil in his heart. After all, what he planned all were destroyed by Sophie. What a powerful ability, seal. But you are too complacent. Although the people present are not as powerful as you, do you think that apart from you, we don't have the stunt of pressing the bottom of the box? Lu Chengkong first sighed in admiration. Said immediately disdainfully. Really, do you have any other stunts to use? I still don't know about Sophie's mother-in-law. After so many years of dealings, in addition to the Emperor's color hockey, the incomparably powerful physical skills are familiar with all kinds of devil fruit, plus the current fruit of fate, I know very well, what else do I not understand about her moves? This girl obviously inherited everything from her mother, and her strength is still inferior to her mother. Even her mother can't kill me, can she? I faintly recognize that her potential and aptitude are higher than her mother's, and the constitution is under the special influence of her mother to allow her to exert the power of the white tiger fruit to the point that only I can exert it. But so what, if she is 8 people from 100 years ago, with 800 years, maybe I really can only escape. But now, what ability do you have other than death? The great demon of the void snorted coldly. Although he spoke very arrogantly, he had to say that his wisdom was indeed extraordinary. He was as careful as dust. And after being sealed for 800 years, he can be described as keeping a low profile, thinking about how to crack all of Sophie's stunts, just as Sophie knows many of his abilities. He also knew about Sophie's stunts, and even because of his mysterious origin, he kept a hand all the time, so Sophie didn't even think of it, and almost caught Sophie by surprise. Only run away. Really? The corner of Lu Chengkong's mouth twitched, full of sarcasm. That's right, normally, as long as it's people in this world, even Hancock and Khalifa, who have been greatly affected by their own influence, will face existence. For the void demon, who has figured out the power of this world for a long time, he really has no trump cards. The devil fruit ability can't play a direct role at all, so only hockey and physical skills are left. The internal strength is already strong, and after the strength has been greatly improved, the void devil's physical skills can't play the role of turning the table. Kashi, Sengoku, since the beard, the red hair, I think I have always been in your hearts, and I can put my life next to death, willing to take the initiative to walk in death for a long time in order to become stronger. Edge, you all think I'm not afraid of death. Whitebeard's below who had successfully killed all the little demons. His tone was very indifferent, even indifferent without a trace of emotion. Dead people have this deadly feeling. Yes, at least the old man thinks so, And maybe only someone like you who is not afraid of death and has the determination to challenge death can grow to such a degree at such a disadvantage. Sengoku's heart suddenly became very heavy, and he suddenly had a bad feeling, especially when he saw Lu Chengkong's lifeless expression and Yi Shuihen's appearance. This feeling became stronger, but he replied, stating his evaluation of Lu Chengkong all along. Are you explaining your last words? Similarly, if you were both born 800 years ago, I could only swallow my voice for a long time. I can only say that you are unlucky and untimely, but I will be a good person. I'll give you 10 seconds to explain my last words. The big demon of the void looks like I am very generous. 10 seconds. He really didn't believe that Lu Chengkong could make a comeback within 10 seconds. This was his confidence in his strength at this time, and his confidence in everything he knew about the world. He really didn't believe this. What ability does the world have to threaten itself? The moment I came into this world, I knew the essence of this world. The strong were respected, and the weak can only be a stepping stone to the strong. I don't want to be the meat in the mouth of the strong, nor do I want to be humiliated by others. The waste, let alone become a weakling to be bullied by others. So I know that I only have one way, that is to grow up under the pressure of death. This is the fastest and only way out. Anyway, if I fail, I can only become a weak person who can be bullied by others and have their own destiny controlled by others. I can't accept that, especially it was even more unwilling to know that he had the opportunity to become a strong man. I deeply know that long-term pain is worse than short-term pain. It may be that the extremes of things will turn against them. When a person is so afraid of death, he dares to take his own life as a bet, betting that he can become a superior person and stand tall. The Emperor above all, it is clear that now I have succeeded. Lu Chengkong seemed to be recalling his life for the past 20 years, as if he was slow and fast, he said word by word. Really, it's a pity, if it wasn't for me, you did step on everyone's heads. The void demon suddenly said a word, not knowing whether it was a joke or an irony. Yeah, so I don't allow people like you to exist. I don't allow my life to be out of control. I don't allow myself to be threatened and unable to resist. I absolutely don't allow my dignity, self-esteem to be trampled on. Who won't make me feel better? I will let him die first. Even if I die too, the great demon of the void, you must die, the demon emperor will change. 358 demons come to the world, time and space collapse. Don't. Stop. You bastard, you're going to die like this. ... When Lu Chengkong spoke the last 3 words, his tone carried a firm and unyielding determination. The arrogance that would not disappear when the earth collapsed that day all overshadowed the people present. In fact, Lu Chengkong was right, he is really afraid of death, he doesn't want to die, but after coming to this world, what he wants to do most is not to be angered by other people, to be able to stand proudly in the world, and to be at ease and self-respect. The Void Demon and the 20 Kings 900 years ago. Color Hockey, Demon Emperor Color Hockey, are people in the special constitution of the 20 Kings will definitely be killed as long as they are known by the Void Great Demon. The Great Void Demon will never allow such a person to exist. He does not want to be threatened, so after learning about the Great Void Demon, Lu Chengkong made it clear that only one of himself and the Great Void Demon can survive, even if he avoids it by himself. Hidden, after knowing his deeds, the Void Great Demon will definitely know his own specialness and threat with his wisdom and carefulness, and sooner or later he will have to face it. Rather than face it alone in the future, it would be better to fight the big demons of the void like this now, so he chose to join without any hesitation. This is not only because of the reason for repaying the favor of eating the mirror fruit at the beginning, but also because he knows that he does not sooner or later there will be a fight. On the other hand, Hancock, Khalifa, and Angelina obviously knew what Lu Chengkong was thinking. As pillow people, especially Hancock and Khalifa, Lu Chengkong came to list the 2 women who were the first in the world to know and marry. He also understood everything about Lu Chengkong. It's just that no matter what Hancock and the others say, they can't change it. Lu Chengkong has already used the Demon Emperor to change, and they can't stop it. Soon Lu Chengkong screamed in pain and roared, as if he was injured. Like a beast, the aura on his body became violent and violent, as if it would explode at any time. No, how could this be? The void demon who looked like a winner was stunned for a moment, and then became furious. When he planned to shoot Lu Chengkong immediately, he found himself helpless by Sophie again. The girls were restrained. Even if he was angry for a while, he couldn't kill the 4 girls to attack Lu Chengkong. He could only watch Lu Chengkong complete the transformation of the Demon Emperor in the blink of an eye. The first stage of the demon transformation, the second stage, the mirror fusion, the transformation of the Demon Emperor. Any kind of ability in the eyes of others is a magical skill, a taboo ability, but at this moment all appeared on Lu Chengkong's body, and in an instant superposition has already reached its limit. Lu Chengkong, who could explode and die at any time, even felt that all the organs and parts of his body, his brain, and even his soul were infinitely compressed and expanded. It was so hard. At this moment, he couldn't do anything to make him feel comfortable except for venting and killing. A little method, if it is possible to let the girls soothe him at ordinary times, it can relieve him, but it is obviously impossible at this moment. Void, empty, big, evil, devil, you really have no choice but to understand the capabilities and power of this world, but it's a pity, you may not know one thing, this world is not of this world except you. Besides living things, there is another person, and that is me. Quote. Lu Chengkong said that he used a roar at the end. The pair of demon fangs made Lu Chengkong look more violent and unparalleled, and Haki was exposed, and he was invincible. What? The void demon forced Khalifa and the other women to retreat with several heavy blows. He suddenly heard Lu Chengkong's words and looked at Lu Chengkong in disbelief, his already huge eyes widening in surprise. No need, go die, the devil is in the world, time and space collapse. Lu Chengkong roared. His appearance did not change much after the mirror fusion and the demon transformation, but there was more behind the foundation of the Demon Emperor transformation. He had a pair of demon wings, silver black eyes, silver black hair that came to his waist, and some simple and vicissitudes of life demon imprints on his face that exuded a violent atmosphere. Suddenly, Lu Chengkong's body burst out with a silver black light, like a sun, and like an invincible devil, majestic and contemptuous of everything, just like what he said, the devil is in the world, time and space collapse, he is the demons in the world can make time and space dizzy and collapse with unbearable power. No, how could you have such power? It's impossible, I'm the great demon of the void, I'm the strongest, I can't be defeated, devour me. The void demon seems to have been hit. Just now, he still has the winning ticket. The next moment the opponent's strength is so strong that he is heartbroken. How is it possible? Beggar, the taste of standing on the peak and falling down is very uncomfortable, but he did not lose his mind, he made a choice in a thousandth of a second. Although this is very dangerous, he devours all the devil fruits in his body and increases his strength to an unprecedented level. After that, these devil fruits disappear forever. Even if all devil fruits are found, his strength will be permanently reduced a lot, but this time he didn't have a choice. If he didn't do it, he would probably be killed by Lu Chengkong, then everything would be empty talk. If he did this, he still had hope. As long as you kill Lu Chengkong, then kill all the people in front of you, then hide, recover your injuries silently, and look for the devil fruit, even if you will never be able to restore the peak time, but after finding the devil fruit, you will definitely be stronger than you are now. Especially after taking back the top-level abilities of Lu Chengkong and the others. I have to say that the Void Demon is indeed a terrible opponent. It seems crazy, but it is calm and witty, and it is cruel enough to the enemy and itself. Not everyone has the courage to make the choice to break the arm of a strong man. There are a few people in the world with red hair. In order to save Luffy, who was not a partner at the time, he could only bet on Luffy, who he chose to like. There are very few arms of their own, in the world of pirates, there are almost none. And the current Void Demon has the same courage to make such a choice as the redhead. The strength of the redhead who lost an arm is greatly weakened. If Lu Chengkong does not restore his arm, his strength will be permanently reduced like that of the Void Demon. Even the Void Demon was a little worse. At least Hong discovered that he had recovered his arm after meeting Lu Chengkong, and the Void Demon was obviously impossible to encounter such a good thing, and even waiting for him was the endless deep continent, death. 359 bombing, no dead body. I didn't expect you to be the one to rely on in the end. Sophie looked at Lu Chengkong with complicated eyes. She could have known Lu Chengkong since she was a child. This boy who only had a glimmer of hope in those days has repeatedly created something that he can do for himself. It was a shocking miracle, and now he has subverted his own understanding once again. But after hearing him say that she doesn't belong to this world, she also understands a little bit, and also understands that human beings are not only in this world. I hope you won't let me down. The meaning of fate, the fate is passed on. A glimmer of hope flashed in Sophie's eyes, and her whole body was full of purple light. At this moment, Sophie was like a goddess who dominates the fate of all lives, and she can accomplish what she needs with a wave of her hand. I saw that Sophie stretched out her hand to face Lu Chengkong a little, all the purple light all over her body condensed on the index finger of her right hand, and turned into a little purple light and shot directly into Lu Chengkong's body. Huh, it's so comfortable. Lu Chengkong, who had thought that it was about to explode at any moment, felt his body suddenly tense, and the feeling of swelling and exploding seemed to be blocked. He couldn't help turning to look at Sophie, and found that her face was very pale. Obviously, she helped him control the terrifying power in his body in a short period of time, so he wouldn't die before he was ready, and explode before he could make a move, but his current power is too powerful. Even Sophie has the fruit of destiny, which is all-encompassing and infinitely useful, cannot let oneself suppress the power in the body for a long time, and the time is still very limited. Give me death. Lu Chengkong's body flashed, lightning shot out, and suddenly appeared in front of the Void Demon. The shadow of the sky hit the Void Demon, punching to the flesh. Every punch contained the extremely terrifying power. The Demon Emperor hockey frantically condensed on his fist, constantly squandering, as if he wanted to sway his youth at the last moment of his life. Ah, damn, I won't lose to you. I'm the Great Void Demon, the strongest, forbidding the world. The Great Void Demon found that he and the little Lu Chengkong in front of him couldn't win the internal power fight. Even he began to fall into the disadvantage, although he was angry and shocked, but he did not lose his mind. Immediately turn around, stop fighting physical strength, and use fruit ability. Lu Chengkong and the others' fruit ability have no effect on him, but his fruit ability has a great effect on people other than Sophie. Everything in the world, the infinite seal, you can break it with strength. Lu Chengkong roared again and again, facing the face of the seal. The aperture did not retreat but instead advanced. The body's blood was running at a high speed, and the power in the body was concentrated on the right fist. He punched out and used the double fruit at the same time, suddenly increasing the power of his punch by 100 times. There was a bang, as if a dozen atomic bombs exploded together. Lu Chengkong's fist froze for a while when it melted into the ceiling aperture, but as Lu Chengkong passed through the blessing of the double fruit, it was like when the sea was angry. Like a miscellaneous tsunami, wave after wave, endless power continuously hit the seal aperture, and after half a sound, the seal aperture shattered with a click. I see what else you can do. Although you can still use the fruit abilities now, I think you will lose these fruit abilities forever when you become weak after the boost. This time will be the last time you will use the devil fruit. The ability of the void. Say goodbye to the great demon of the void, and take my strongest blow, the wrath of the demon emperor. Quote. After breaking through the seal aperture, Lu Chengkong rushed towards the great void demon unabated. His awakening of benevolence without success was fully revealed. At the same time, his hands were folded in front of his chest. When he came to the great void demon, there was a silver black light ball with a radius of 30 centimeters in his hands. This light ball did not emit a trace of breath, but it gave people an unfathomable feeling of swallowing everything. It was really the wrath of the demon emperor. Heaven and earth change, everything is destroyed. Bang! At this moment, the great demon of the void understands what fear feels like. After so many years, he finally realized what it means to be afraid again. His eyes shrank rapidly, staring at the Demon King who was going to hit him constantly in front of him. Furious, he found that the flow of time seemed to slow down. Originally, he couldn't keep up with Lu Chengkong's movements, but he could clearly see Lu Chengkong's Demon Emperor's wrath pressing on him step by step, and he realized that he could dodge it, but he was horrified to find himself. His body seemed to have lost control, and he couldn't make the movements he wanted, so he could only watch the Demon Emperor's wrath hit his body. There was a loud bang, and the incomparably heavy impact resounded through the heavens and the earth. At the same time, the great demon of the void only felt that his body would be smashed to powder by the wrath of the Demon Emperor at any time. Countless emotions flashed in his eyes. There was fear, and there was reluctance to give up, reluctance to part with life, anger at one's own failure, but all these emotions disappeared in an instant, leaving only ferocity and resentment. Am I going to die? Don't be complacent, your body can't bear the increase of this power. It's completely beyond your limit. When the power of destiny that Sophie's mother-in-law is pressing in your body is dissipated, you will exploding and dying, but I will not make you feel better. I will let you die without a corpse, and drift forever in endless time and space, in different spaces, and teleportation in different spaces. Quote. The great demon of the void allowed the wrath of the Demon Emperor to rage in his body, and the pain that had been piercing his heart seemed to disappear. He looked at Lu Chengkong with resentment in his eyes. His hands that were out of control seemed to regain control at this moment, and he suddenly hugged Lu Chengkong. Chengkong, the necklace that he had been wearing around his neck instantly turned into a little starlight and disappeared directly into Lu Chengkong's body. Even Lu Chengkong couldn't dodge at such a fast speed. Is there not a whole corpse in death? I'm not even afraid of death, and I am even less afraid of death without a whole corpse. What's more, it's hard to say whether I will die if you die in front of me. Lu Chengkong was neither sad nor happy. He was not afraid of death alone, and he really didn't know what to be afraid of. The power of the devil was like a flood after the collapse of a dam, and it continued to erupt without money. Forcibly bombed the huge body of the void demon into powder, without leaving a trace of tea residue. It is really dead and can't die anymore. Khalifa and Hancock wanted to curse at the first sentence, but seeing Lu Chengkong's indifferent, emotionless eyes, they found that the words in their hearts seemed stuck in their throats and could no longer speak. The most terrifying thing about a perfect warrior is that he has no emotions and desires. He is not only ruthless towards the enemy, but also more ruthless towards himself. Just now, I have modified my pain and emotions and desires from my genes. I am actually really afraid of death. I'm also very afraid of the pain brought by death. Isn't it good? At least I won't be in pain, and I won't be sad because of death and losing the inside. This may be the best ending. 360 feet's legacy. Every time Lu Chengkong uttered a word, the faces of Khalifa and Hancock became ugly. By the end, Hancock, Khalifa, and Angelina had unknowingly been covered with tears. Don't cry, don't be sad. At our level, there is nothing that can't be controlled except that the soul can't be changed, and all the pain and emotions caused by my death will be deleted, and even belong to me. Amnesticized, so you don't have to be sad. Although Lu Chengkong's words are ruthless, they are indeed the most rational. It can be said that Lu Chengkong is the most perfect warrior at this moment, a perfect powerhouse who is ruthless, has no pain, and has no emotional passiveness, which makes the hearts of Whitebeard and others on the side extremely chilled. Terrifying enough, even if Sophie heard those beautiful eyes, she couldn't help but have a palpitations. Asshole, who do you think I am? Do you think you are the only one who is not afraid of death? I made up my mind when I was with you. Even if I die, I will accompany you. Khalifa and Hancock have nothing to do. Hesitantly, he stood beside Lu Chengkong from left to right, and there was no fear of death at all. For Khalifa, Lu Chengkong was everything he had, since he was a child. In Hancock's heart, Lu Chengkong is simply a benefactor. If he didn't have him when he was a child, he might not be a crazy and endless empress now. He might still be a mercenary and bullying woman. Of course, this is what she thinks. Lu Chengkong rescued her when she needed it the most. From the beginning of acquaintance to the point of mutual acquaintance and finally to the point of love, Lu Chengkong's figure has long filled her heart. Let's go. Lu Chengkong's originally stagnant pupils suddenly flashed a tinge of pain. This is impossible, he is very clear that he has already modified his genes. Could it be that his love for their two daughters has really penetrated into his soul? Even if the genes are changed to be ruthless and without pain, there will still be a feeling of heartache. That kind of heartache does not come from the body, but from the soul. Lu Chengkong said that he would push the two Khalifa girls along with Angelina, but unfortunately it was still a step too late. The last move left by the void demon at the moment before his death appeared, and he saw Lu Chengkong's head. A huge black hole appeared, and endless years of suction were released, such a terrible suction that even the current Lu Chengkong could not resist. Hey, come in. Lu Chengkong felt that his body was out of control, and it was impossible to push them out. He reluctantly turned his head and glanced at the huge black hole behind him. It was dark and deep inside. Unmeasurable, I don't know what's in it, but one thing is certain, everything that has entered a black hole since freedom has never come out, and no one knows what is connected to where in the black hole. He didn't dare to take risks. Originally, he planned to be ruthless and lustful and let the girls forget him. Unfortunately, he didn't expect Khalifa and Hancock to love him so much, and he also ignored that he loved them so deeply. Into the soul. He doesn't know if he will die if he enters the black hole, but he really doesn't want the two wives he first knew when he came to this world to have something to do. But he has nothing to do, his body can't be controlled at all. Just when he is desperate he saw the ring in his hand, so he had a flash of inspiration, and he could bring them into the active space. Anyway, they were all fighting. If he didn't die, this ring that he couldn't destroy should be fine, so the girls would be fine. Nothing will happen anymore. But he was worried that Khalifa and Hancock would refuse, and he had nothing to do, but things were always changing. Just when Lu Chengkong couldn't do anything about it, Angelina, who was not affected by the black hole, rushed in without hesitation. Sophie on the side had no way to stop her, but because she wanted to hold Angelina, she was dragged there by Angelina. The moment Angelina rushed over, Khalifa and Hancock were not paying attention and suddenly attacked and knocked Hancock and Khalifa unconscious. Hurry up and put them in. Angelina shouted in a coquettish voice. Lu Chengkong immediately understood and immediately put the two unconscious girls in. He didn't dare to neglect them. With Li Envy's strength, he would be able to wake up within a few seconds. Now, after seeing the two women enter, Lu Chengkong immediately turned his gaze to Angelina, full of puzzlement. Although Angelina has become his wife, she can't be compared to Khalifa and Hancock emotionally, but what he didn't expect was that this former Catwoman would actually do something that moved him so much. Don't look at me like that. I said that you conquered me, although the relationship between us is not as good as Khalifa and Hancock now, but it doesn't mean that I am not as good as them. Since you conquered me, then I will be with you. We live and die together. I believe that as long as we are still alive and there is time, one day my relationship with you will reach the level of Hancock and Khalifa. Promise me, not to die. Quote. Shock. Yes, it is shock. Neither Lu Chengkong nor Sophie thought that Angelina would say these words at this time, but Angelina, who was the party involved, didn't care about it, and directly let Lu Chengkong put herself in the ring. Angelina just left 3 words just before entering the ring. I love you. Although the voice is small, the firmness and love contained in it have entered Lu Chengkong's soul. Angelina is proud and rebellious. She doesn't think that she is a latecomer. On Khalifa and Hancock, although the relationship is not deep, the bonding time is short. But she was not discouraged at all, nor did she admit defeat. At this moment, her heroic demeanor that dared to love and hate and those 3 words full of unresolved love made the relationship between her and Lu Chengkong heat up rapidly, and the quality changed directly. I didn't expect that I would have the least deep feelings because of this, and the kitten girl who joined at the end turned the ruthless me into a sentient being again. Lu Chengkong ignored the tears that appeared in the corners of his eyes. He was really moved by Angelina. In his heart and soul, everything that belonged to Angelina was quietly engraved on her. Angelina didn't want anything. All she wants is to live on her own and love her well. My niece, hey, she is more daring to love and hate than her mother, you must not bear her. Sophie sighed. She was not angry at all because she was dragged in by Angelina, she did it for her. Angelina felt pity for what she did, and in the end she only gathered all her thoughts into a very short sentence and said to Lu Chengkong.